Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It is Tuesday. It was Easter Monday yesterday, so it screwed me up. It's Tuesday today, and the Raptors are playing the Lakers. First night of a back-to-back that the Raptors have to play today and tomorrow. Playing the Lakers here at Scotiabank Arena, and then going to Minnesota immediately after the game to play the Timberwolves tomorrow night. The Timberwolves are the only team that we have beaten once and have not lost to this year. The only team we have not lost to this season is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Of course, we played them on the first day of the season and won at the beginning of the season. So that's about that tomorrow. So just a little note about that. But today we have the Lakers. The Lakers are here in town. And yeah, there's a lot of injuries. So let's get right to it. We got the ref report, everything else for you guys to get you ready for things. Is everything fine? Yeah, the mic's working. I should check that kind of stupid stuff. All right, first we'll do the Raptors. There was some news about our injuries that kind of shuffled around. Jonte Porter is gone in exile, in shame. Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl still out with their hand issues. RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley are probable for today. So I'm expecting the return of the former Knicks that are on our team. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley should be back today and playing against the Lakers tonight. Now, I don't know if they'll do something weird where, because it's a back-to-back, they're probably not going to play them both nights. So it could be that one of them plays tonight, one of them plays tomorrow. I don't know. We'll have to see how they handle it. It may be that they're both back tonight, and we have a good shot to try and beat the Lakers. The Memphis Grizzlies did win last night, so there's a little bit more breathing room for the Raptors to try and get another win and stop this losing streak without affecting their placement in the standings to keep in the bottom six. Abaji is ruled out for today already with his hip injury from when he fell and hit the floor real hard. Gary Trent was added to the injury list yesterday. He's been ruled out for today. So no Gary Trent Jr. That's the latest addition to the injury report from yesterday afternoon. DJ Carton still out with his ankle. That's really too bad because Carton, man, you'd be playing all over the place right now, DJ. It's too bad you twisted your ankle when you did because, man, you got your chance in the NBA right now. And, man, this has got to be the worst. Injury getting in the way of when your chance is open. I hate it. And Chris Boucher, of course, ruled out for today's game also due to his knee injury from Chris Murray. Yeah, all right. The Lakers have a laundry list of injuries just like we do. This is crazy. They have just as many. It's like who is left from both teams to be able to play? Oh, my gosh. Christian Wood has had a successful surgery on his left knee, and he is out. Jalen Hood-Schifino, the rookie, is been recalled from the G League, so he may be playing today. These are the ones that are interesting. Jackson Hayes, probable for today's game. He's been out recently. Jared Vanderbilt has been ruled out for sure today. Gabe Vincent ruled out in this game. Cam Reddish ruled out in the game today. And there's the big two injuries right here. LeBron James, questionable for today's game due to ankle injury. And Anthony Davis, questionable also today with a knee injury. So it could very well be, teams are taking the Raptors as a chance to rest their stars kind of on the way out on the season that in some ways were not really a big threat. And just like the Sixers taking Maxey out on Sunday, I could very well predict right now that either one or both of those guys will not play tonight. It could be that the streak of LeBron not playing in Toronto will continue and infuriate bronze sexuals around the GTA who buy tickets to come see LeBron at the Lakers game, and he just doesn't play. I don't think he's played in Toronto for a couple of years now. I think it's been like 2 years he hasn't since he's actually set foot on the court and been healthy to play against us. So, yeah, we'll see if LeBron shows up for all of his lovers. I have a feeling he's not going to play tonight, y'all, just so you know. And it could be that Anthony Davis isn't either. Not that I'm complaining about these things. If RJ and Emmanuel show up and those two big players, the main players for the Lakers, do not play, well, we got a good shot to beat them. The Austin Reeves-led Lakers is a lot different than the LeBron James-led Lakers. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, so there's your injury report. The Lakers have been winning lately, which is annoying. There was that period of time after the in-season tournament where they lost a lot, and it looked really dumb that they won the in-season tournament. Well, the around New Year's, the league decided we're going to really help the Lakers, and they started doing that, and it was evidenced the first time we played them. That really was a turning point in the season when we were in LA and we played the Lakers, and the refs hit jobbed us. That was absolutely one of the biggest turning points in the season, and it still pisses me off. To some degree, I blame that game in LA as being the reason why our season just went to shit this whole season. We had good vibes. We were doing really good. We were on a roll with our new acquisitions with the guys from New York. And the NBA wanted to knock us down a peg. They wanted to show us that this league's unfair and that if they really don't want us to win, they won't let us win. And of course, Darko went on his tirade after the game about, well, if you want to just let them win, why do we even show up? Why do we even play the game if you've already decided the Lakers are going to win? And this is the last time we played them, y'all. And in some ways, I'm still pissed about that. I'm still pissed about that. So let's look at the refs, seeing as these guys will have the keys to some of what I was just talking about. I'm looking at this ref crew, and I'm not that suspicious about them. I see Scott Foster's in Sacramento doing the Clippers game. I see that Mark Davis is in Washington with the Bucks and the Wizards. Tony Brothers is in Oklahoma City reffing a game. Or no, he's in Philadelphia reffing the Oklahoma City Philadelphia game today. Nah, our crew chief today is Curtis Blair. Curtis Blair is a good ref for the Raptors. He's been a good ref for us for a long time. 16th season out of Roanoke, Virginia. His favorite TV show is Dexter. He likes the movie Grease. He listens to Casey and JoJo. His favorite meal is lamb curry. If we got anybody in the kitchen with some lamb curry for Curtis Blair, he'd most like to visit Brazil. And his hidden talent is tennis. I don't know if we're going to have you play tennis in the referee talent show, Curtis Blair. That's not the most exciting thing. Now, Curtis Blair was drafted into the NBA by the Houston Rockets in the second round of the 1992 draft. So he was actually a professional basketball player who played in Australia, Austria, and Turkey. Curtis is our favorite ref today, guys. The crew chief is our dude. We win 59.7% of our games with Curtis Blair. That's up, might as well round it up to 60% of our games. We are 1-2 this season. We've lost our last two with Curtis Blair refereeing this year. And the Lakers have a 59% winning percentage. So it's pretty close, 60 to 59, the split for the Raptors over the Lakers with Curtis Blair, the crew chief. The second ref is the cop, Justin Van Dyne, 10th season out of Arcadia, California. He is his favorite TV show is Entourage. His favorite movie is the Bourne movies. Favorite musician, Jimmy Allen. Favorite book, Moneyball. He likes to eat sushi, so we need some lamb and we need some sushi. His favorite app is the Chive. I've made jokes about that being a baked potato app, but it's some sort of parody or satire site like The Onion, the Chive. Most like to visit Ireland, and his bucket list is to visit every MLB stadium. That's right. I told you he was a police officer in Ontario, California for 9 years. He's also been a middle school physical education teacher. So, yeah, Justin Van Dyne has refed a lot of games for the Raptors this season. In fact, he may have refed the most games out of all the refs this year. We win 54% of our games with Justin, and the Lakers win 39%. So that's pretty good. Our record with Justin this year has been 2-3. We won 2 and we lost 3 that Justin Van Dyne has refereed for us. So that he favors us over the Lakers, which isn't bad. The last ref is the rookie, the young ref. He's kind of a problematic ref at times. He's been in controversy with other people during the season with some of the calls he's made, and he's been in trouble a little bit this season too. Fourth season for Sayesh Mehta out of Baltimore, Maryland. His favorite TV show is The Office. He likes the movie Slumdog Millionaire. He rocks out to Bob Seger, that old-time rock and roll. You know what I'm talking about. His favorite book is The Alchemist. He would like some butter chicken with garlic naan. So we got lamb, sushi, and butter chicken. That is what we need today. Let's see. Favorite app, Spotify. He most like to visit South Africa. His bucket list is to play golf at Pebble Beach. And his hidden talent is badminton. Now, wait a second. If you're badminton and Curtis Blair is tennis, why can't you guys just meet in the middle and maybe play a pickleball match? You know what? We'll make this a little 4-person pickleball tournament. And we'll get Scott Foster and Mark Davis to be involved too. So we'll have a little 4-person tournament. I'm sure Scott Foster will cheat, and he'll try and win it somehow, some way by cheating. And Mark Davis and Curtis Blair and Sayesh Mehta in a little mini pickleball tournament. Since these guys like to hit stuff with rackets. Yeah, Sayesh was supposed to be a doctor, but he disappointed his family and went into became an NBA ref. That's the true story. This guy's from India, and he is the classic story of a son disappointing his Indian parents. You know, I've heard about these stories. I've known people like this. And yeah, they wanted him to be a doctor, just like people in their family. And no, he had to go and be an NBA ref. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sayesh is the worst ref for us today. He is a bottom 5 ref for the Raptors, guys. Just so you know, he's right at the bottom. We win 36% of our games with Sayesh present. And meanwhile, the Lakers, it's even worse. It's kind of funny. The percentage for the Lakers is 17%. I don't understand how that happened in this new age in the last 5 years. Maybe Meta is somebody who does not like LeBron or something. I don't know. How did they only win 1.67% of their games in the last 5 years? That's awesome. So maybe Ziyech is cool. But we're 1-1 with him this season. That's our record with him. So there's your refs. They all favor us statistically, which is interesting. And honestly, these guys are not notoriously like guys that I'm like, these are bad refs. In some ways, Justin Van Dyne can be a little, and so can Sayesh. I really don't mind Curtis Blair though. Curtis Blair's a good person to be running this game today. So there's your ref report right there. Yeah. The Lakers have won 6 out of their last 7 games, and they are kind of rolling right now. So we'll have to see how things go. Of course, a lot of the ways the Lakers win is with a free throw discrepancy. Often they're shooting like double the free throws of the team they're playing. We'll have to see how that goes tonight. I'm going to watch this real closely, whether LeBron plays or not. Let's see how often we go in the lane and we get to the line, and let's see how often they do and they go to the line. Let's keep track of this tonight. We might as well, because this is definitely a phenomenon that's happening with this particular NBA team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Very much something happening right now. All right, let me get in the comments. We'll do all the regular stuff we do on this channel. We'll do a score prediction if you guys want to do that. Cosmic Car of the Day, all the other fun stuff. We do have birthdays today also, guys. Let's see. Dana's first in here. Good morning, everyone. Happy game day. No thoughts needed in my 2-finger salute. Lakers, this is for you, LeBum James. All right, there we go. I'll do it too. Yeah, there we go. Now, I went on a rant yesterday, and I somewhat want to retract some of my statements from yesterday. In some ways, I don't want anybody to think that I'm mad at Koloko himself. I'm mad at Clutch. And also, I don't want to make light of the situation of his health, because honestly, in some ways, that was not my intent yesterday. I think it's a serious condition. I'm not trying to say that he's faking. I just think that if there is any kind of situation, that agency will, do things a certain way to game it for their advantage. In some ways, I'm embarrassed by some of the things I said yesterday about the Koloko situation, and in some ways, I'd like to retract them. I realized that we had to waive him, and it was not. I don't think we had to, we had to do it. It was just the right move to do at that time. And like you guys said yesterday, the medical people in our team know what's best, and in some ways, they probably advised Masai that, like, look, you can hang on to him, but in some ways, we have no clear path to knowing when he'll be ready to come back. In fact, I looked up more about the panel fitness to play, and it has been around for about 12 years. And it was the one that declared that Chris Bosh could not play in his career any longer. And that situation is exactly like this Koloko situation. The problem is that there's not going to be any doctors out there that will clear him to play because of his condition right now. This is very much what happened with Bosh. The Heat were in trouble, and they were like, well, we can't keep you. And they let him loose. And then there was a worry that, well, another team will have a doctor say, yeah, we'll clear him and we'll let him play. No, that didn't happen, and Bosh had to retire. So in some ways, I want to treat this more sensitively in a way for the young man, Christian Koloko. Now, I'm still anti-Clutch, and I still have my reasons for thinking that they're shady as fuck, but I just want to delineate that and maybe do a retraction to an extent from my stream yesterday. How about that? I got a really nice feedback comment from a watcher, And, there were other things I'd already been thinking about during the day that I was just like, you know what, Lex, you kind of went off the deep end with your Coloco take yesterday. And in some ways, you need to take some of that back. You need to walk it back. I didn't want to infringe on Coloco's character himself in any kind of way. I wish him well. And I just hope that his health clears up so that something can happen for him in the future still. So I just want to say that real quick. Trevor J's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's go. That's right, Trevor J. Let's go and get that cosmic card of the day right here, my guy. Yeah, let's open it up. Woo, woo. Oh. All right, let me see what's in here. I'm going to get it from the end this time. I usually draw it from the middle. I'm going to get it from the very end. Let's see who we get. Oh, awesome. All right. This is all right. I'm not gonna give any clues. You guys will be happy about this. So let's see. Coming up from this side over here, and full names. Full name. Write that full name in because it ain't no good if you don't. I see Smooths here. So here we go. All right, it's coming up on the corner here. Let's see. Maybe I'll bring it up closer. That is pretty easy, if you ask me. If you can see that. I don't know. Can you see that well? Who is that, guys? Who is that? Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about Coloco today, Chris, just so you know. I just want to do my retraction today. James got it today. That is Rudy Gay. That's former Raptor Rudy Gay and a Grizzlies card. Yeah, good job, James. Good job. Kawhi Leonard? No, that's Rudy Gay. And James was the first to get it. Yeah, good stuff, James. Yeah, Rudy Gay, 100 points will go to you. This is before he was on the Raptors, I think. This is when he was back on the Grizzlies, the very beginning of his career, I believe. Yeah. Rudy Gay, Grizzlies. Good job, James. James gets 100 points to his Raptors Freak trivia score. I like seeing different people get it. And I like getting a Raptor, a former Raptor on here. Of course, the Rudy Gay trade highlight and Masai Ujiri's work resume of something that he did was absolutely fantastic. Rudy Gay trade, 4 great players from Sacramento for one guy, and it really changed things for our team. Yeah. Yeah, Monique is here. Good to see the super fan Monique Lawrence. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Let's just put up a fight. Go Raptors. I think RJ and IQ will play smart. It will play smart. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I hope they do return. RJ's got some stuff to work out. He's got some legacy to continue what he's got to do. And I'm all about it. The support for RJ has been fantastic, all over the place. I see people posting stuff that's real nice towards him, and it's Raptors Nation, Knicks Nation. It's just NBA family. I think that if you're human and you have a heart, people have felt things for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly recently. We found out more about Emmanuel's uncle being like a father figure in his life, very much like a dad to him, not just an uncle. He said in his interview the other day, and he also said some people from the organization went to that funeral also on Saturday. So there were people from the Raptors organization, and it meant a lot to Emmanuel Quickly, that came down and bothered to come. And he said, this is his own words. This is what Emmanuel said. Some people are talk and some people are actions. And they showed that they support me and care about me. They came down there. Yeah, he says it's not talk, the Raptors organization and their support. He sees it in the actions of what they're doing. Yeah, I love it, Monique. And she's also saying Marquise Noel highlight video came out so early of the season. Yeah. Well, their season's over. The G League season's over. So the highlight reel should come out for him. He has a great highlight reel this season with his great passing. And, he had a lot of fun stuff that he did, whether it was an off the backboard pass to Miles Burns. It was absolutely a fantastic jam. There was some real thread the needles. He had some very good shots himself at times, some real loopers, some quite far beyond the 3-point line. I mean, I don't know if I told this story yet this year, but I should. There was one game earlier this season that I went to. And, of course, I like to get there early and watch the pregame and everything going on. And Marquise was he was on street clothes. He was not playing. He was just hanging out before the game in the shoot around. He was sitting on the Raptors bench, and somebody threw him a basketball, and he just stayed seated at the bench, like right around where Scotty would sit on the bench. And he shot seated from there and threw the ball at the hoop. Now, the first one he shot like that, he missed, but they threw the ball back to him. And the second time he shot it, he made it. And that's him seated in Scotty's spot on the bench from the sidelines. He threw the ball. Little 5'7" Marquise Noel. into the basket, 50%. He missed the first one, he made the second one. I was really impressed by that. Really, really impressed by that. He has a shooting prowess to him that will still hopefully get discovered by the NBA and seen on an NBA court. I'm telling you, yeah. Trevor's saying, who was the first team? Okay, he's giving me some Raptors trivia. Let's see what Trevor's saying here. Who was the first team beginning Raptors NBA history to play at home and on the road? Well, I know the first team we ever played was the New Jersey Nets. That was the first ever game that the Raptors played, and we won that game. I don't know the first team we played on the road, though. I can't tell you that answer, Trevor, off the top of my head. But I know the first game we played ever in the NBA was at home in Toronto against the New Jersey Nets, and we won that game. I know that's the answer right there. Let's see. Mo's saying, touching practice interview by IQ. Uncle always watching over you, and we Raptors fans got you. That's right. That's right. IQ, it meant a lot to him. And obviously, once again, IQ reaffirming his faith and his thanks to God and Jesus for giving him the capabilities to play in the NBA, the skills to do what he does. And that, he said in his interview yesterday, he just reiterated that this time of season and what's going on with the Raptors right now is just get better every day. It's just work on yourself and get better every day. Try and do better. Kelly Olynyk echoing the same kind of sentiment. And so this must be something the coaches are really putting on them right now. Just work hard and get better every day. And regardless of what mode the franchise or the team is in currently with winning, it doesn't matter. Let's just go out there and do the right things, practice the right things, practice the winning things, and get better every day. That's what Kelly was saying. Kelly's talking about his role expanding recently. He's like, they were saying, have you learned new stuff or something? He's like, no, it's not that I've learned anything new. It's just that I have way more responsibilities all of a sudden than I did 2 weeks ago. And that's true. I mean, with everybody out, he has to be the vet catch-all on a lot of different skills and things that need to be done on a court because he knows how to do them. Whether it's him bringing the ball up the court and passing and being the hub, or a lot of down low stuff he has to do more of because there's no big guys around there helping him at this point. So, yeah, Kelly's been in a tough spot. And much like IQ, he's saying we're just trying to do better every day and get better every day still. Even a guy at his point in his career can find ways to get a little bit better every day. That's what they're saying. Yeah. Most saying, again, I applaud Randy and the Raptors Tonight crew talking heavily on the draft with Dan Tolzman. Yeah, I thought it was fun that they asked him about Zach Edey's transferring of his skills to the NBA level. And Dan was like, I can't really specifically talk about any players, but I will talk about that this is very real. That, just because a guy like Klingon does what he does in the draft, in the tournament, doesn't mean it will transfer to the big league. I told y'all the physicality of Donovan Klingon to me does not look like it'll translate. If there's guys that are just as strong or stronger in the NBA, he won't be able to bully his way around the basket and do what he does. He won't be as effective. In some ways, you want to mix finesse and size and strength with speed to do things on the court. You don't necessarily want somebody to rely on being like Domantas Sabonis to score everything, especially if they're a young player and they're first coming in. I just don't think, I'm shocked to see the ESPN mock drafts putting the UConn center way high up on the draft board compared to some of the people you all have shown me lately, like Kal-El Ware and Zach himself. So, yeah, whatever. They're trying to pump up the UConn Husky center. I think he's fool's gold. Whoever takes him, you're going to be getting the latest version of like Dave Corzine or some shit like that. Seriously. That's what I think about UConn's guy. In some ways, that's the guy I would worry about transferring his skills to the NBA. Not Zach. But yeah, Dan danced around that answer, and he didn't get us in trouble or anything because he really can't talk about active players like that in that kind of way. You can't really talk about the draft like that. I took the point that he was saying is that there's different levels of basketball and it's different everywhere. And the main point I took from it was he's saying G League is not the same as the NBA. And that's what people need to realize. You see things on G League level doesn't mean it's going to be happening on the NBA. And that's something I've been saying all season. Chris is here. Good to see Chris. Caitlin Clark. Oh, my God. She crushed LSU, and I kind of felt bad. Felt Van Lith. But she has no chance. Looked shook. Anyway, Lakers, yeah. But I see this as a loss to Anthony Davis, really. We have nothing to match. Well, he may not play tonight, Chris. That's something that Darko said in his interview yesterday. He said, Darko, what are you going to do about Anthony Davis? Is what the media asked him. He's like, oh, he kind of made a really crazy face. And he kind of went like, I don't know what I'm going to do about Anthony Davis. That's purely what Darko said when the reporters came at him with the Anthony Davis question. He's like, how are you going to deal with a player like Anthony Davis with your current roster? He's like, I have no idea. Well, things may work out. The Lakers may sit him and he may not be playing today. I don't know. If Davis is going to play, yeah, they're going to beat us. But if he doesn't play, we have a shot. We have a shot to beat them because we don't have anybody who can guard Davis right now that's active. If we have Pirtle, yeah, of course we have somebody who can kind of match up with him. But yeah, Darko was hilarious in his interview. He also pulled an April Fool's joke on the team yesterday, apparently. He came in and he told them, he like buttered them up in film session yesterday morning, saying, you guys played such good defense against the Philadelphia 76ers on Sunday. He's going on and on. He's like saying all this. And then he told them all of a sudden, April Fools, you did not play good defense. That's kind of a mean April Fool's joke, but it's kind of funny. And when he told this story to the reporters, he laughed kind of like a maniac. He's like, ah, ha, ha. So Darko's a funny sense of humor on the players by telling them they play good defense. That's his April Fool's joke to them. Of course, we saw a really cool clip from Open Gym of celebrating Wayne Embry's birthday. We knew it was Wayne Embry's birthday the other day because we celebrated it here on the channel. And of course, Wayne's 87. He just turned 87 recently. And he's been around the Raptors pretty much since the turn of the century. So he's been around us for like 25 years. And we love him. He's a senior advisor for our team. He's been around for a while. And they showed this really fun little clip of him. And he's saying, say Wayne the Wall at the end of it. And Masai made some crack about his age or something like that. He's like, how old are you? So we've seen the funniness from Ujiri and Rajakovic yesterday. A couple of funny clips with both of them. Masai being funny, Darko being funny yesterday too. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all right. That game was awesome. I did not watch it. I think it's cool that Caitlin won this time because the last time LSU won. And that was in the national championship. So in some ways, it would have been, this is the thing. I'm going to say this from a wrestling booker's mind, that in some ways you want them to be even. You want one team to win, the other one to win. So that the story goes on and there's more chapters. If LSU had beaten Iowa last night, well, in some ways that's it. LSU's beaten them twice in a row and it's over. Well, now that both teams have won and LSU can have that circle back and try and get back at them thing. I don't know how many of these young ladies are going to be moving on to the professionals or not being around next year. But this rivalry is good for college basketball. And if they can continue kind of getting some juice out of it, instead of it being so one-sided, the LSU just kicks Iowa's ass every time. This is good. This is good that Iowa won last night. A lot of it on the shoulders of Caitlin, of course, carrying her team, doing amazing stuff and killing, putting them out. The LSU Lady Tigers. Yeah, awesome stuff. And it's fantastic. I'm sure the ratings last night were fantastic. In some ways, they dropped the ball with this being so early in the tournament and not the finals. But hey, whatever. You live and you learn, NCAA tournament makers. You live and you learn. And yeah, awesome stuff. I love to see the passionate interest in women's college basketball right now. I love to see it so much. It's really, really cool. Fiercely saying, good morning, family, and happy Tuesday. If RJ and IQ do come back tonight, this will be an exciting game to watch. Yeah, I have a good feeling they are going to because it's probable. And they've been kind of getting the conditioning for like 5 days. Hey, they're probably ready. They're probably ready. Now, we'll have to see if the Lakers are not going to have some of their guys show up. We'll have to see. There may be a chance for us to get this one. Of course, with Memphis beating the Pistons last night, they gave us a little wiggle room for us to try and get a win soon and try and end our losing streak. In fact, I want us to go full tilt. If everybody can be available, that can be available tonight and go at them and just try and guts it out and get that win against the Lakers, protect our home court. Let's have some pride. Let's do it. Let's do it. We want to end this losing streak. We don't want to break a record with our losing streak. And we have the green light to get a win again because Memphis has 2 more wins than us. In fact, I looked at the chance of us keeping our position. It has gone way up. It's now 84% that we will finish 6th worst in the league right now. Only 6, almost 16% that we will finish in 7th, and Memphis will finish worse than us. It's just looking at strength of schedule, and it looks like we're really ensconced in that sixth worst position at this time with the separation from the Grizzlies from us. And our chances of getting a high draft pick are pretty good. I mean, there's about, let's see, 9 times 9, 18, 27, 36, uh, 36, 40. It's about a 45% chance we're going to keep the pick. It's still about 45 to 55. 55 will lose it. 45% will keep it. So yeah. All right, let's see. Fiercey's also saying, sorry, Lex, your referee report won't serve any purpose today, as we know those motherfuckers will help the fakers for playing BS. But let's make it hard on them. I'm hopeful. Raptors win 112 to 108. All right, she's put in her score in first. Let me just write it in here. Fiercey Salsera. And she's saying 108 to 112 for the Raptors. I'll write it in the order of LA at Toronto. 108 to 112. Perfect, Fiercey. I like that score. Smooth's got his score for the day. Let's see what Smooth is saying. He has got it as 115 to 98 for the Lakers. All righty. We'll mark you down for that one. Good morning to Cowboy. Good morning. How are you, Bradley? Always good to see you. And Monique has got her score. Let's see. Monique Lawrence, the super fan. 109 to 102 for the Raptors. All right. 102 to 109. All right. I got that. Nako's saying, end of the season, I think Braun retires, if not sometime into the next season. Well, he won't retire this offseason. He's got to play with Bronny. There's that last goal he has, if not to win one more championship, is to play with his son. And, well, he's going to try and figure that out one way or another, even if he only gets one season with them, just like the Griffies. Ken Sr., Ken Jr. played with each other at some point. That's what LeBron wants to do. He wants to do some Ken Griffey shit where he's like senior and junior playing together. So, yeah, he's not going to retire until he gets his chance to play with Bronny. You know, in some ways, even though he's lazy and in some ways he's not the same player he was like 10 years ago, he can still play physically. It's just whether he wants to put up with the travel and all the bullshit of being in the NBA. In some ways, I don't think he'll be successful. I don't know if he'll ever win another championship again. Probably won't. But, you know, he wants to play with his son. So that is the one thing that'll keep him around still, Gerald. Let's see. Fiercey saying at Chris, right? Caitlin was on fire. So many threes. Next matchup, I'm rooting for UConn as Canadian Aaliyah Edwards is part of their team. Yeah. All right. So you got Canadian rooting interest for the UConn Huskies on the ladies' side. All right. All right, Aaliyah Edwards. Get out there and kick some butt and show Caitlin something else. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Nako saying sounds coming through. All right. Thank you, Gerald, for the confirmation that the microphone actually seems like it's really clear today. I don't know. It's weird. It's different levels of picking me up, you know? So I'm trying to get more and more acoustically sounding correctly. Like I even said acoustically and it actually humped. It hit the mic. You could hear acoustically. I shouldn't do that. I want to try and be smooth. No ups and downs, no ticks up in the meter. It's like, you know, because, oh, shit, you raise your voice. You're doing the marquee main event matchup, and you just, like, bust it all up on the microphone volume, Lex. All right, Cowboys got his score for today, and let's see what he's saying. He wants 131 to 117 for the Lakers. All right, y'all did hear my injury report, right? Yeah. Whoa, Cowboy. Whoa. That's, yeah, what? Pause. 131 to 117. That's not nice. All right, let's see. Chris is saying at Fiercey, I don't have a favorite. Just fun to watch competitive games, but Clark is not normal. Laugh out loud. She's awesome. If she took that money and played for the big three, that'd be kind of crazy cool. In some ways, it may not be good for the WNBA, but it'd be very, very good for the big three and also for women's basketball in general, because it'd be breaking a barrier. And I'll bet you if she did go and play in the big three, she would kill it. She'd be one of the best players in there. And she'd prove a lot of stereotypes are wrong and that women can compete with men. In some ways, I kind of really want her to take Ice Cube's offer, $5 million to play for the big three this season coming up and do it. I mean, seriously, Ice Cube's smart for doing this. It gives a lot of shine to his league. And if she takes it, holy crap, it's way more money than she probably will make in the WNBA. So in some ways, it'd be really smart to see her out there with former NBA players playing 3-on-3 in that setting with that league. That'd be very, very, very interesting if that happens. may not be likely, but who knows? Who knows? It could be. All right, Nako's got his score. Let me write this one in. Accounting for injuries, 112 to 103 Lakers. Okay. 112 to 103 Lakers. All right, we're getting all the scores in. Maybe I should do mine now. All right, Lex, what are you thinking? Well, I right now, if LeBron or Davis are going to play, I'm going to say the Lakers will probably win, and I'm going to say la 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 la. This is going to be high scoring. I'm going to say it's going to be 120 to I'll say 108. 120 to 108 is my score prediction for tonight. For the Lakers, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. Chris is saying oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I jumped. I'll go back to this. Fiercely saying, Nako, if the Lakers are eliminated, LeBron will once again say he is contemplating retirement and keep the attention on him rather than the team that puts them out. Yeah. Yeah, they'll do this. They'll shaft the team like the Denver Nuggets, and they'll talk about LeBron, the Lakers, all this. Meanwhile, they're just overshadowing the greatness or the excellence or the achievement of the team that just beat them. Yeah, that was what Michael Malone's gripe was last year. And that's why Michael Malone is the Lakers' daddy, as he put it. She is extremely talented indeed. That's right. Chris is saying, I think he owes it to the bronzexuals that he plays, star of the league, ticket driver. He should think of the little kids who just want to see him play. He disgusts me. Haha, just joking, but please. Well, I'm just saying the trend has been recently that in particular Curry, Steph Curry, and LeBron James just don't play in Toronto. I don't understand why in some ways. It is what it is. This is a rule they made this year. Like if there's anything fishy about both Davis and LeBron being out, well, they can get in trouble for the resting policy because those two guys are all-stars. They're on the list. And if they're both out, it's bad. So that's why I'm thinking one of them will play for sure because they don't want any attention from this resting policy thing that happened this year where two all-stars are sitting all of a sudden and it looks weird. Around this time last year, the Mavericks got in trouble for this shit. And they made the rule change partly because the Mavs doing something weird with sitting Luka and Kyrie at the same time. So they probably will sit one of the two guys. We may not get LeBron and we may get Davis or vice versa. We'll have to see. I'll be monitoring the injury list during the day. And if you're in our Facebook chat, you get the updates immediately when they happen. But if you're not, you got to join the channel to be in our Facebook group to be able to get all the breaking news as it comes, during the day, because that's what we do on there. We keep it up to date as soon as it happens. Yeah, I don't know. The LeBron fans in this city that have tried to go see him play in Toronto and he has not played in recent years. Well, I feel bad for you, I guess. I guess I do. I'm trying to be more benevolent and nice. I guess I feel bad for you. In some ways, I do. Yeah. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Rapper Freak crew. Game day. That's right. Game face. Cool Cat has that game face. Cool Cat, Coach Cool Cat is a real one. She knows her basketball. She's a diehard. She's a passionate Raptor freak. And she's all about game day. It's time. Yes, that's right. Fiercey's barfing about bronzexuals. Yeah, I don't even understand how that term came out, but it fits. It does. It does fit. I used to live with a bronzexual. Oh my gosh, he was so annoying. And I lived with him kind of during Lebronto. So it was really, really annoying. Oh my gosh. This guy was a Raptors fan most of the time, but when we played the Cavaliers and LeBron, he switched sides. And whenever it was weird because he'd be like, Lex, I am a Raptors fan. I love the Raptors. I root for them all the time with you when we watch them. I want them to win. And then when they lose to LeBron in the playoffs around LeBronto, he'd laugh at me. He'd be like, I told you you're stupid for rooting for the Raptors, you dummy. You should be with LeBron and me. Ha, ha, ha. And I was like, oh, my gosh. Living with that guy sucked. In some ways, not just because of that, but also because he wasn't coming with his rent either. So, yeah, bronzexuals. I've lived with a bronzexual, and it was very annoying in the days of LeBronto. Yeah, it was near the end of Lebronto, honestly, is when I lived with him. It was really annoying around Bismack year. Yeah. Yeah. Nako's saying at Fiercey, I think he needs to see himself as a top 15 to keep playing. Oh, LeBron? That's his own words where he says if I'm not a top 15 player, I don't want to play in the league anymore. That's weird. I mean, some people will say he's a top 5 player. Some people will say he's not in top 10. Some people say he's in the top 30. That's more like where I would put him. I don't know. I don't even know if he's in the top 30. He may be top 50 to me at this point. He could be in the 40s somewhere as far as players. There's a lot of better players in this league at this point than LeBron. In some ways, it's like if you want to look at his whole body of work and add that all in, okay. But no, we're looking at him right now and what he's doing right now. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, let's go, RJ and Emmanuel. That's right, Cowboy. Let's go. Curtis Blair has got the lamb. Fiercey is in the kitchen. I see Fiercey is cooking something up in the kitchen. She got that lamb running around in there. You better catch it and get that thing prepared for old Curtis Blair. The lamb chop. I love it. There's lamb chop, Sherry Lewis and lamb chop. You guys remember this? Hey, hang on a sec. I got a friend here. It's like, all right, do you know who Sherry Lewis and lamb chop are, Justin Bieber? No, you don't know who they are? You should. Lamb chop is like one of your people, yo. Like lamb chop. You don't know lamb chop? All right, you need to go back to your cage and watch some YouTube. Maybe you'll see lamb chop. Okay. All right, you're my son. Thanks. Bye. Bye. All right, there you go. Yeah, lamb chop. Yeah, lamb chop. Smooth saying, yes, that game in LA derailed us big time. Had we got that W, perhaps there's no Pascal trade. Anyways, it is what it is. In some ways, yeah, you could look at it deeper. That in some ways, that what were all the ripple effects of the ref hit job that happened in LA against the Lakers this season. In some ways, it set us up for a back-to-back loss against the Clippers the very next night because we had all kinds of momentum. And man, we could have played those LA teams better if the refs had not manipulated the Laker game so much. And then we did start losing a bit, and the vibes went down. And yeah, just all kinds of weird, icky stuff after that. So yeah, that LA game in LA against the Lakers was bullshit. In fact, that may have been the biggest bullshit game this whole entire season. And there's been a few bullshit games this year. Trust me. There's definitely bullshit games going on. Fiercey saying Justin Van Dyne. There's a sushi for that's perfect sushi. Man, Fiercey's a good emoticon sushi maker. Holy crap, she's got the tuna and the salmon, and then she's got the little bento box. Wow. All right, Fiercey. Since you're in the kitchen today, I'm gonna give you a 3-pointer. You're now at 70 dunks for Fiercey this year so far. 70 dunks. Wow, that's cool. I like that. Most saying, I booked my final ride of the season today. Are you going today for the Lakers game? I know you have a couple more games left. I mean, there's only a few home games left. There's not a whole lot of them left. There's today, and then I think there's like 2 after that, and that's it. That's it. Yeah, we're gonna be going on the road. All right. Let's see. Fiercely saying Sayesh Mehta. There you go. There's the butter, there's the chicken, and there's the plate. That checks. That's pretty good. I like that. Butter chicken. That is the most interesting way I've seen butter chicken done. I know when Tom makes butter chicken, it's usually just the chicken. And he doesn't put the butter on there. So yeah, Fiercey. All right. We got different chefs now. Chef Fiercey in there. Maybe we'll have an Iron Chef competition, emoticon chef cooking competition sometime between Fiercey, Tom, and Isaac. That'd be fantastic. I'd love to do that. That'd be fun. Chris is saying, I really wish the NBA would reorient the game and promote it to kids from 10 to 15 years old. Make it fun. Get rid of gambling, no replays, and have the players play each game. Seems all fixed now. You know, your ideas aren't that bad, Chris, honestly. You know, I feel like when I was younger, the game was more marketed towards kids. It was more kid friendly in some ways. You know, they used to have the show NBA Inside Stuff on Saturday mornings with Ahmad Rashad, and it was on after the cartoons and the Saturday morning cartoons. It's almost like, yeah, here, kids, watch some Muppet Babies, and then boom, here's Ahmad to get you all hooked on NBA action. It's fantastic. No, that was smart marketing. I know they probably have NBA shows like that they do, but Saturday morning cartoons are no longer a thing. In some ways, the NBA is fantastic. The dunking, everything like that mattered more. But now our society is more and more adult. And I know that I'm a symptom of it. I know that Zach Edey dropping an F-bomb after his game the other night is a symptom of it. I know all the taunting and the too small bullshit and the talking and there's not good role models in the NBA at this point. You know, in some ways, parents may watch the NBA and they're really like, I don't want you to be modeling yourself after anybody that you see out there. In some ways, there's some good role models in the league that they're singularly, but overall, there's a lot of characters in the league that just aren't very good role models for kids. Let's just put it that way. So in some ways, they've lost that. Even if Michael was a gambling addict and he was an absolute asshole behind the scenes, his persona and image in the public was very fine crafted and protected. And he was on Saturday morning cartoons with Bo Jackson and Wayne Gretzky on the Pro Stars cartoon. He did have commercials like crazy, and there was a lot of connections to children in those kind of ways. The NBA is just not like that anymore. It's marketed so differently. And I agree. The betting is not good for this. It's not kid friendly. And in some ways, I love Chris's statement here that if they get back to the basics of what this is supposed to be all about, the NBA is supposed to be about entertaining and having good competitive games. They're fun, having teams that in your market that you can root for and superstars that you like. In some ways, the NBA should be teaching sportsmanship and how to be a good sport. This is what team sports is supposed to be. It's supposed to teach you morals and values and camaraderie and good sportsmanship. And there's not enough of that in the NBA or in sports in general at this point. There's a lot of assholes. There's a lot of shit talking. There's a lot of snarkiness. There's a lot of dirty plays. There's a lot of the honor that was in the NBA is out the fucking window at this point. And that's one of the sad things about this. Too small is no good. Too small is all of a sudden, somebody inbounding the ball off somebody's face to bring it in. There's a lot of disrespectful shit going on in youth basketball, and it's reflected by the behavior of the pros. Yeah, they reflect it onto the kids. And I'm totally with Chris on this statement. I really am. I'm going to give him a dunk for what he just said, because I like what he's saying, and it'd be great if it could happen. You got a David Robinson 50 guy. David Robinson 50. That's right. Let's see. Cool Cat's saying great college women's basketball competitive games last night. We need WNBA games here. Canada needs to elevate university games here. They're fun and competitive. Canadians are great athletes. Start marketing them. Yeah. Cool Cat's pushing the push. They get more shine, more focus, more broadcasts of women's basketball, because honestly, the sport is growing quick. We've seen these little periods of time with other sports with women get really like excitement and enthusiasm behind them. With soccer, there was women's soccer stuff going on with the U.S. women's soccer team that really captivated people for a while there. We know the women's hockey team for Canada has really captured the spirit and the attention of people at times also. Well, it seems like right now is a time for college basketball with women to get more of a spotlight and get more of that shine in different ways on the backs of Caitlin Clark and the LSU Tigers and different people like that. So, yeah, I'm all about this. And Teresa Resch, I wish you all the luck in the world with everything you're trying to accomplish by bringing the WNBA here to Toronto. I really, really do. I want to see you be as successful as possible. Mischief is saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks. I looked at the 2024 NBA draft. I like 19-year-old Kel'el Ware, 7-foot center. He's the best three-pointer in the draft at 42.5% and best rebounder statistically, projected to go top 7. Who should we draft, Lex? Mischief, I'm glad you brought up Kryptonian Kel'el Ware. We scouted him in the recently, like in the last 10 days. I looked at him on the show blind for the first time, and I really liked him too. Mischief, it's interesting that you're bringing him up. ESPN did a mock draft yesterday, and they released it, and it's kind of ridiculous to me in some ways. But that's why I was kind of dissing Klingon, because they've got him as a third pick in the draft. I think that's a little high. And hey, if anybody wants to take him in the third pick, you go ahead, Scoot Henderson. That's all I'm going to say about that. They've got us keeping our pick at 6 and taking Matthias Buzelis of the G League Ignite. I am not upset about that. Honestly, this is one of the times when ESPN makes a prediction and I can actually get behind. Matthias Buzelis is one of the best shooters in this draft. He's already like 7 foot, and he could be like a crazy kind of Dirk Nowitzki power forward kind of shooter scorer, because he's like that. He is like that. We saw him play against the 905 this season on the G League Ignite, and he was badass. Honestly, I'm a big fan of his. So ESPN's got us mock drafting him at 6 if we keep our pick. Now, I don't know if that's the right pick at that point, but they've got Zach all the way down at 13, picked by Portland Trailblazers. Then on our 17th pick, they're saying that what pick is it? 19th pick from the Pacers. They're saying that we should draft Duke point guard Jared McCain. Yeah, I don't know about that. And I see just a little bit after that, Kel'el Ware is actually on the mock draft board for ESPN at 26th pick. I think that is way low. In fact, I think they're undervaluing him. In some ways, I see the same things that Jay sees about Kelly Ware. This guy is awesome. His wingspan is amazing, and he does have a very good outside shot. And I fully endorse him. The two centers I like right now are Zach Edey and Kel Ware. So yeah, Jay, that guy's awesome. 2 thumbs up from me about drafting Kel Ware. Messiah, are you listening? That's what I'm gonna say right there. Yeah, I'm all about him. I'm all about him, Jay, for sure, Mischief. HC is here, man. Banton was a great pickup for the fantasy league. Okay, HC, this is the guy who's in the Final Four. HC is showing up to talk to us. Glad you're here, my guy. And I'm gonna need, just in case you win the championship, to know where to get the championship trophy to you if you do win. Now, there's 2 Saborin brothers involved in things still, and yeah, there's still current champion Duke Rocks is involved in the Final Four too. But those 4 teams right there, one of y'all's gonna win. The Final Four is set. Saborin brothers, HC, and Duke Rocks. Yeah, great 4 teams there. Yeah. Off to the championship you go. All right, let's see, HC. I mean, I'll go look and see what y'all did on the first day. Right now, you are down 131 to 46. So you got some work. David is no slouch. He's so tough. But I'm really wanting to see the battle of these heavyweights here. Peter has a slight lead, has a lead on Jason also in the beginning of this competition. So to the best team wins. Get to the next round and get to the championship final. Yeah, HC, good to see you in here. I'm glad you showed up to remind me of who has that team. I was forgetting who had that team, the Cunnin and NBA team. I was like, whose team is that? That's the one team I can't remember whose team it is. It's HC. And he came in and said it. Yeah, Banton's a great pickup. Yeah, Delano was on my team last week, and I cut him because I needed somebody else to come in and play to try and win my round in the first round, but I didn't. So he was on the waiver wire. And yeah, he's had a fantastic month. Delano Banton, former Raptor for sure. Smooth saying a great way to learn fundamentals of things is to watch the women play the game. Great teaching. Yeah. I mean, they were fundamentally great, honestly. In some ways, this has always been the case in basketball. If you are not good talent-wise, well, you better be good fundamentally. And I'm not saying that women aren't talented. There's tons of very talented women basketball players. It's just in some ways, the athletic talents of women is different than men. And in some ways, the fundamentals is the way you get ahead in that game. I mean, it's true with the NBA game. If you're talented and you have fundamentals, well, you're winning. You are winning. And that's ultimately the best thing to be, is talented with fundamentals. But too many guys in the NBA are just talented and they don't have fundamentals. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's a lot of women who play in the WNBA that aren't necessarily very athletically talented, but they're fundamentally masterful. And that's so true. That is so true, Smooth. In fact, if I had a young child that I wanted to teach basketball to, I might have them watch the women's game more than the men's game to pick up better habits. Yeah. Smooth, you can get a dunk for that because that is so true. The women's game is much more fundamentally sound and it's more pure ethical basketball. This is just the damn truth. You got Emmanuel Quickly 5, my guy. Your IQ quick. That's right. That's true on the classic card for sure. IQ quick. Yeah. Fiercely saying, I'm already drafting my complaint letter to the NBA in reference to the foul discrepancies. I will count each and every time they go to the line. Yeah. A little bit of special interest for Raptors Freak family tonight to see the foul calls and how they go down. Curtis Blair, we're watching you. We are watching you tonight, Curtis. So, yeah, let's get it right. Let's get it even. Let's keep it consistent on both ends of the court. I don't care if we got G Leaguers out there. You need to keep it consistent. You're going to diss Mohamedou. You're going to diss JFL and just ignore them when they get hit. Okay, I get it. Yeah, y'all are biased. I get it. Tom's saying, here's Tom Dookie. Nice work, Fiercey. At Smooth, you're right. The NBA has no defense and not really basketball that kids can learn from. This is true. And that's part of the travesty of it is that kids are trying to learn from the NBA game, and it's the worst place to learn from. You could go and learn from FIBA better. You could go and learn from the women's game better. Yeah, you might even be able to learn better from the big three. I'm just saying, Tommy, good to see you, my guy. Yeah. Most saying, I like Aaliyah Edwards, but I never watched women college basketball, Fiercey. Well, maybe that needs to change, Monique. I mean, I'm the same. I haven't watched a lot of college basketball in general. So it's not really a women's or men's thing. I don't watch either. So in some ways, I don't have a lot of time being all consumed with Raptors everything that I really don't watch any other sports or anything other than Raptors games or 905 games. I just don't have the time. It's such a commitment to watch all 82 Raptors games and all of the 905 games and keep up on everything and do the stream that I just don't watch the NFL. I don't watch the MLB. I don't watch NHL. I don't watch college. I don't watch nothing except for Raptors. And I get it. I get it. Mo, if we get a WNBA team, though, we're going to have to watch that. And it's going to be nice because it'll be in the off season in the summertime when the WNBA season happens. So in some ways, we want to have basketball year round, Mo. We might get used to watching that college women's basketball because we may be watching prospects that are coming to a Toronto at WNBA team. We may very well have a rooting interest, Monique. So this may change. Yeah. Chris is saying if the WNBA is able to make money in Toronto, someone will get it here. Not necessarily MLSE, but issue number one, none of the teams make any money, so it's 100% up to the NBA. This is not totally true. And I don't know if you were here for the stream that happened, the news that broke, Chris. The reason why Teresa Resch has left the Raptors is she's starting a new group to get a WNBA team in this city outside of MLSE. Now the board and Ed Rogers III, fuckface McThird, he said no to the WNBA team from MLSE standpoint. He ixnayed it, and Bell agreed with him. So they outvoted Larry on getting the WNBA team here through MLSE in the Scotiabank Arena. Well, Teresa Resch has left the Toronto Raptors and MLSE to form a new group with Larry Tannenbaum's ownership solely, and they are going to make that bid again. And they will probably be a WNBA team with the Toronto City next summer. I will say that right now. We're probably going to have a team starting in our city next summer with Larry Tannenbaum as the sole owner with no MLSE involved and Teresa Resch running it. This is a slam dunk. It's going to happen. They've seen the market is good. If you said you worry about it, they don't make any money anywhere else. They do, though. That's not actually true. There are some of the WNBA teams that do actually turn a profit. I would think that Las Vegas Aces have been doing crazy good since they've won 2 championships right away. They're the hottest thing in Vegas. I'm sure a lot of people go to that game and they pay a lot. They're getting the merchandise too. So Toronto's market is going to support this team in all kinds of different ways. They're not going to play at the Scotiabank Arena. They may play at Mattamy. They may play down at Ricoh. I have no idea exactly where they're going to play. It's likely that they won't play at any of the MLSE locations, though. The big sticking point was they did want to give up concert dates in the summer for WNBA games for people like Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber, and all of them to come in and do their shows in the summer. So that was the big reason why they rejected the bid. But Larry Tannenbaum's outlaw. He's going outside them bullshit motherfuckers. And Teresa Resch will be the Masai Ujiri of that team. So, yeah, I don't know if we did a stream on this, and we talked about it a couple months ago that this is all developed to this, just so you know. Smooth saying, for a long time, I was sexist, and it didn't take women's basketball seriously, but I changed my thinking, and it really embraced it. See, this is great. That's not even Smooth Brown Man's fault. In some ways, we get programmed and influenced in all kinds of subtle, weird-ass ways by media. Whether it's watching a show like Married with Children in the 90s, and it instills kind of thoughts about men and women and their roles and what they're supposed to be. That's just an example of one show. You can think about Married with Children and the whole relationship between Al and Peg. And, you can see how that may teach gender roles to young people that are watching that show so young. There's been a whole lot of talk for a long, long time, a very hard push against women's sports looking like equal or doing as well as men. And it's been very concerted because they don't want, more money going that way. In some ways, it's easy for people to just push sexism and being, a chauvinist in some ways. It's not totally our fault, Smooth. I was the same way when I was younger. And part of it was programming by the media and just status quo bullshit. And now that things are a little bit more woke, as the term, that we realize just how much we were programmed when we were younger, especially our generation. The generation that's middle-aged at this point is that we can really look back and see just how fucked up, media programmed us on our views on things. on all kinds of things. If you really look at it clearly and you get real about it, you understand it better. So in some ways, I wouldn't get mad at you for this because I was a chauvinist and totally a sexist. But partly it's because of this programming by media and what the TV and the movies were telling me that this is gender roles and this is how it is. So it's good that even as we are older, we're able to understand this and see it with a perspective from the now back to the past and understand just exactly the whole mechanism of it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's all kinds of good examples of how we can be conditioned by media. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Chris is saying, I think it's best to forget about Coloco. He's not coming back. Clutch is an extortion racket. That's true enough. Just sucks. We keep losing centers. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Chris. And thanks for not going any further. I'm with you on this. In some ways, I feel so bad for him in this circumstance. I feel bad for Masai, and I feel bad for our team and our fan nation also, because he really is a great prospect. And well, we'll just see how it all shakes out. I'll think the best of Christian going forward, but we'll have to see. I do want to reserve the right to be mad at him in the future, just in case something really shady and kind of fucked up happens. Just so we know. Yeah. Yeah. All right. James definitely got the cosmic card. And Chris was Guy Rudy. Guy Smiley from Sesame Street, the reporter Guy Smiley. I like that guy. All right, let's see. Mostly 90s for me, man. Yeah, 90s. So Rudy Gay's too recent for Smooth. That's why you wasn't sure that that's Rudy Gay, former Raptor, good buddies with Kyle and DeMar. Yeah, Tom's saying nice work, James. Yeah, I like this part of the show. I like the Cosmic Card of the show, Cosmic Card of the day too. I really appreciate Trevor for doing this. I mean, these boxes are awesome. I don't look through them, so I have no idea. I'm doing it blind too. And well, we're going to do Wild Card Wednesdays this summer, and there'll be like a bunch of cards. I don't know if we'll do like guess them or it'll be just me reacting to opening the cards and talking trash or talking about the cards that I get. I said talking trash, like if I get a LeBron card. But yeah, Wild Card Wednesday this summer is going to be fun. Every Wednesday, I'll open a whole pack of cards, not just one card. I'm gonna open a whole pack of cards, and I'm gonna react to the cards I get. It's kind of like a unboxing kind of thing for YouTube channels, stuff like that. Nako's saying, I thought it was a Spurs jersey at first. You thought that was a Spurs jersey? Yeah, it kind of looks like black and white. It looks kind of like a Spurs jersey. It does say Grizzlies on it, though. But yeah, I mean, he did play for the Spurs also. So Rudy Gay was on the Spurs for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying, Lex, I'm glad you recontemplated your take on Coloco's situation and clarified your doubts are geared towards Clutch and not him. Respect you for accepting criticism. Listen, honestly, if anything, I can be an example of like going back and saying, you know what, I did overreact. You know, when I rewatched my stream yesterday, I was cringing. I was like, oh my gosh, Lex, why did you say that? And in some ways, I'm so dumb at the beginning. I'm like, why is he not on our team? It was like, well, they did waive him, and you're the Raptor streak, and you're supposed to know that, you dumbass. Yeah, so a little egg on my face from yesterday. In some ways, I was a fool on April Fool's Day. And if anything, if I can give an example of how to kind of retract or be better if you've done something wrong and take ownership of it, I want to do that. In some ways, you know, I look at this as, you know, I'm not a perfect person. And if I can show people how to be okay with not being perfect, but also owning up to your mistakes, that's a good thing to do, especially in today's society when nobody wants to take ownership for their mistakes and they just kind of want to like move on and be like, yeah, no, I didn't do that. Or they're arrogant and they're like, oh, I never make any mistakes. Like Donald Trump, his mindset is he's never made a mistake. Oh my God, you've made a lot of mistakes and you've got a lot of lawsuits to prove it. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate that, Fiercey. And honestly, I love that y'all stood up for him like y'all did yesterday. That's really the right action from the Raptor Freak family, is to be loving and supportive and positive towards our guys. And even though Christian's not technically one of our guys right now, well, we should still have that kind of energy towards him, at least until there's something else that otherwise may change that. But right now, he didn't do anything wrong. So why am I mad at Christian? Why am I mad at Christian? I shouldn't be. James is saying, when we traded for Rudy Gay, I thought we were going to be good. I was wrong. It looked good on paper. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It was an awesome move because it's weird because usually I don't like disseminating talent from one really good player like Rudy Gay into so many different players, but it absolutely worked because it helped us get a bench. in that early Lowry DeRozan era. That with Rudy, DeMar, and Kyle, we had too much of a concentration of three top level players that we didn't really need. In some ways, DeRozan made Gay expendable. And that's a big reason why that trade was made, is because Masai could see DeMar growing more into his role, and that Rudy was in the way to a degree. So why not turn him around and make four role players that absolutely did help us? I mean, Patrick Patterson was a starter, and he did a lot of really good stuff for us as a power forward center with different skills offensively. Then you had Grebas Vasquez, it's not even that he was the point guard what he played for us, is what we turned around and traded him for afterwards, turned into things like Norman Powell, OG Anunoby, to RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly. You can directly trace the deals to RJ and Emmanuel back to Grebas Vasquez, who we got from Rudy Gay. And then the other two guys, John Salmons was like, John Salmons, whatever. He was the least crazy, awesome part of it. And Chuck Hayes, a Raptors legend. Oh my gosh, getting Chuck Hayes in the Rudy Gay trade. He's always going to be a Raptors legend. Somebody we should mention more on this channel than we do. Chuck Hayes is awesome. I used to love how they dealt with Chuck Hayes on the Talking Raptors show all the time. Chuck Hayes, different people love Chuck Hayes. Let's just put it that way. Small, undersized center at 6'7". That dude was awesome. That dude was awesome. What a great trade. Smooth saying, yep, Clutch caters to the LA, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Heat, and the Warriors. Yeah, it is what it is. Whatever. I went and looked at their client list, and Gary is the only current Clutch person on our team at this point. There's nobody else on our team that's Clutch. And yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's funny. I'll go look at their client list, and who's the number one client on the Clutch client list? LeBron James. Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah, Mischief saying Grizzlies one go. Grizzlies go Lex. What's the Raptors percentage of getting the number 6 pick? Yeah, right now we are like I kind of went over this just a second ago, but I'll do it again real quick. We have a 84% chance of staying in the 6th position at the end of the season as far as the records. So it's very likely we're going to finish 6th worst, which is great. But this is the thing, Mischief. If any team behind us in the draft order jumps up into the lottery in front of us, we're in trouble. We're going to get knocked to the 7th position, and the pick will be the San Antonio Spurs pick. So right now, currently, it's like a 45% chance we're going to keep the pick, 55% chance we're going to lose it. So the chances are we're going to lose it better than we are going to keep it. But that's still 45% chance. That's almost 50%. It won't change much more than that. It is going to be a higher percentage that we're going to lose the pick, but we're just going to have to see if we got some good luck. In some ways, the best thing that can happen is we get good luck in the lottery and we end up in the top 5, if not the top 6. If we just get right at 6, that's fine. But if we can get top 5 pick, which there is statistically chances of getting number 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5, that would be ideal. But if anybody behind us in the draft order jumps into the top 6, we get bumped to 7, and it's San Antonio's pick. Just to illuminate the situation right now. And it's a 45% to 55% chance of that, apparently, is what the stats are saying right now. So it is what it is. Smooth saying the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks. Knicks are CAA. The Knicks are more CAA. And that's the son, Sam Rose, of the GM of the Knicks, is the agent. So there's collusion at both ends of the coasts. The New York collusion with CAA and the Rose family, and then the Clutch collusion with LeBron and Rich Paul. Yeah, there's collusion on both coasts in 2 different forces. Seymour saying, salute Caitlin Clark and Iowa for taking down the most overrated team I've ever seen. Now go get the chip and the $5 million from Ice Cube. Seymour's awesome. I'm going to give Seymour a dunk. You know, I don't want to say LSU is overrated. I think that they're fantastic. They've got a lot of riz and swag. And in some ways, that rubs people the wrong way. And I get that. Who are these young women trying to act like men? You know, this is what big part of the debate right now is behaviors of women around women's college sports acting like men and men being upset about it. It's like, oh, they're talking trash. Oh, they're acting like this. They can't do this. What is this proprietary by gender? You can't be a loud asshole like Bob Knight. You can't do that if you're a lady. You know, Becky Hammond can't be Becky Hammond because she's a girl. What the fuck is this shit? Seriously, nah, let that competitive spirit of Becky Hammond or that competitive spirit of whatchamacallit, the coach of the LSU Tigers that y'all brought up the other day. The ladies of the LSU Tigers team. Let them be who they are. And let's stop genderizing activities and actions on the court. If men do it, women can do it too. They want to do too small, they can do too small. They want to talk trash, they want to talk trash. They want to get in each other's faces, they want to shove each other. Let them do that. It's their competition, it's their game. And in some ways, everybody trying to get them to wear doilies and pink and have little tea parties on the court. Fuck that shit. These women want to compete and they want to play and they don't want to be stopped from not doing anything that the men don't do. So anybody who's genderizing behavior and saying that's not very ladylike, doing that, just fucking stop. Seriously, just fucking stop. That's what I'm telling people right now. That's right. Just stop doing that. Just let these ladies be themselves and be whoever they want to be, and don't genderize their behavior. That's what a man would be doing. You can't act like a man. I mean, just let them do what they're gonna do. Is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying at Mo, me neither. IG fan, but thanks to Lex for WNBA fantasy league last year. I appreciated watching the women. They have great fundamentals. Only thing missing are dunks. Laughed out loud. Yeah, there's some people that have dunked in the history of women's basketball. And, we'll see it from time to time, but it's definitely not on the same level as the men as far as getting up there and artistry. Sometimes it's very fundamental, easy throwdowns, just a real quick dunk and real easy. Yeah. Lisa Leslie, the big known dunker from the history of the WNBA, she had the most dunks because of her size. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad people are getting more introduced to it and are taking to it. That's a great thing that women's basketball is getting more shine for sure. Most saying Darko being funny in practice interview on April Fool's Day. Yeah, that's hilarious. Darko is definitely a funny guy. And listen, it's weird. We're in such a losing streak right now. Things are dark. Jonte bullshit. What I was mad about with Coloco yesterday. But the Raptors are happy people. It's really weird. Masai, a lot of joy in that clip with Wayne Embry, and Darko, very, very upbeat and smiley. You wouldn't know that this guy's lost a dozen games or so in a losing streak right now. The team, the same thing. They're all very positive. They're not like hanging their heads. They really kind of understand that things are just the way they are, and it is what it is. Scotty it's weird. Scotty really enjoys going to Mervish stuff. He's posted like 3 times in the last few days his visit to Les Mis and being with Olivia Chow and David Mervish. In fact, there's a nice picture he posted yesterday on the Instagram stories of him with his mother, Olivia Chow, and David Mervish. And I think that in some ways, Scotty, when he went to Hamilton recently, he became entranced with the theater, and that he really likes theater at this point. And that it's probably very likely that David Mervish is kind of like, Scotty, you can come and go to shows whenever you want. You're my special VIP guest. And he's probably getting some crazy treatment as far as a VIP coming to Mervish Theater. He's hanging out with the owner, David Mervish, the person who's in charge of the whole thing. He's probably really feeling pretty cool, like he's in the theater scene all of a sudden. It's interesting. I mean, he doesn't live that far from all those theaters. And if this is his thing, he likes to go to see like big shows like this. Well, Toronto's a great city for this, Scott. Toronto is a great city for this. And I'm sure this is just his passion. It seems like he obviously is very much into going to shows. Very, very cool in some ways. I wouldn't have called this, honestly. It could very well be a kid from Palm Beach, didn't get much exposure to theater, and getting up to here and seeing the productions that Toronto puts on King Street over at Princess of Wales and other theaters. It probably really impressed him. He's like, this is a really cool thing. And in some ways I could analyze this like Brian Winders. Some of it is to Scott is he loves teamwork. He's very much a team-oriented kind of guy. We know this because he plays basketball and he's the face of our franchise. And he's always been like a teammate kind of guy. Well, he probably looks at productions like what Mervish does. And he says, this is such a well-oiled machine with so many different kind of roles involved. And I think it's really cool how everybody comes together to make something so big happen like this. In some ways, the metaphors and the comparisons to a basketball team coming together in roles, just like a stage manager, costume designer, all the choreographer, all that shit is a similar kind of action. Different people have different roles. They come together and they make a really beautiful big thing happen. And I think that that's part of the attraction for Scott. as far as like what he likes about theater is that it's a lot of people collaborating together and making something bigger than themselves. It's a great thing for a basketball team too, Scott. It definitely is. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great thing for that. Yeah. All right, let me keep going in the chat. Nako saying I like Kyle Flipowski because of his speed and offensive ability. Wouldn't be mad if we drafted Zach. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad about that. Kyle Flipowski is actually lower than Zach on the mock draft that came out on ESPN yesterday. I believe. Let me see. Where is he? Where's Kyle? I saw him like on here. Where did they put him at? Oh, he's way down there, I think. You know what, guys? They have us drafting Ryan Dunn with the first pick in the second round on this sheet too. Where's Flipowski? I saw him on here. Why am I missing? Oh, there he is. He's at 16. Yeah, he's 3 picks after Zach. They're saying that the Suns would pick Kyle. So let's see. Chris is saying JFL is going for 10 again tonight. All right. That sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable. I would love if he flirted with 30, get over 20. That would be great. I mean, in some ways, this is my issue with JFL. He's a scorer. He needs to score more than 10, especially if he's going to get 30 minutes this game tonight. He needs to get closer to 20 is what I want. Yeah. Smooth saying Davis is listed as questionable for every Lakers game. I think he's going to play, man. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, I wouldn't put past the Lakers to say we're going to give you a rest day because it's the Raptors and they are on a really bad losing streak. A lot of teams have been resting guys recently. We saw Maxey not play on Sunday. So we'll have to see. I bet you one of them will play, and it may be Davis is the one, and it's not LeBron. Now, the people that are coming to see LeBron tonight will be disappointed. So maybe it should be LeBron shows up for this one. I don't know. I'll bet you we'll get one of them, but we won't get both of them. I'll bet you we'll get one of them. Let's see. Fiercely saying Darko's sense of humor. I love him, but that was cringe. I used to have teachers like that, made jokes in class, and they were the only ones laughing. Yeah, it may have been cringe when he did it, but it's funny to see him retell it to the media. The press was all laughing with him when he told the story. Maybe the players were pissed. Maybe they're like, Darko, that's not cool, man. We're trying. What do you expect? We don't have any bigs. What do you expect our defense to look like, Darko? Come on, man. Don't April Fool us like that. Who knows? Kareem saying Lakers need to win badly and we need to lose. This is a perfect storm. Yeah, they do need to win, and the league wants them to win. The league does not want them to be the team that gets put out of the play-in by the Rockets. It's more and more looking like the Warriors will be that team instead, which is kind of fun in some ways. Either way, I can't lose. I don't mind the Lakers or the Warriors getting put out by Fred and M.A. Adoka and the Houston Rockets. Either way, I'm good with it. Either way. That's right. Let's see. Fiercely saying, yeah, Smooth, when I see questionable in my eyes, they're playing. Well, either way, I just got to report what I see on ESPN for you guys. And if you guys know better, if you guys got the inside track on things, you go ahead and tell me. All right, so you guys think it's going to be Davis is going to play. I'll bet you one of them will sit. I'll bet you one of them will sit. Kareem saying we need to start a WNBA team now. This way we can select Caitlin Clark as our franchise player. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. The number 1 pick goes to the Indiana team, and they're going to get her. She's going to be playing for the Indiana WNBA team because they've got the number 1 pick. They're already set up for it. It's a match made in heaven. Honestly, it's not far from her market with her college team. And, the Hoosier State deserves somebody like Caitlin Clark playing for their WNBA team. So she's going to be on the fever. I'm pretty sure they have the number 1 pick in the draft for the WNBA this year, and she will be going there. They've already kind of penciled it in, just like the Spurs did with Victor last year. So that's kind of what's already going to happen. Carlos saying good morning. Good morning to Carlo JS, a great Raptor freak. Good morning to you, sir. Always happy to see you in the chat. Mo saying great job putting the Teresa and Wayne Embry fellowship together all these years. Greatest idea. By the way, I like the Wayne the Wall saying. Well, that was his nickname when he played. Wayne Embry was a rebounding machine. Seriously. In some ways, he's very much like Wes Unseld before Wes Unseld. And old heads will hear me say that, and they're like, Lex, you're really going back. Well, if you're going to talk about Wayne Embry's playing career, you're going to have to go way back. Yeah. He was just one of these big load center forward kind of guys. It's not that he was super, super tall. He's like 6'10", but back then, if you were wide and agile and you could get up and down the court and you could get the rebounds quick, yeah, you're going to be a top rebounder in the league. And, yeah, he was battling with people like Wilt and Bill Russell. And, yeah, that's his era back then, Wayne Embry. Yeah, I'm so proud that he's been around our team this so long. I'm really happy about this. In some ways, it is actually he's such a good person for our team to have around. And it's weird because he's seen all these different eras. He was around during the Vince era. He's around during the Bosch era. He's around during the DeRozan and up to the championship era, and he's around now. So Wayne Embry, respect, and of course the fellowship for Wayne and Teresa Embry has brought great new talent to the Raptors franchise and organization for people to work in all different aspects and different parts of departments for the team. And that's been very successful, that program, the fellowship for sure. Very, very good stuff, Mo. Very, very good stuff. Chris is saying, I think Toronto will get a WNBA team within the next 10 years. I also think the WNBA is going to go through an overhaul. Angel and Clark and others in college are just better than the league vets. Hey, if there's a young crop coming up to take it, I don't assume this though, Chris. They may be getting more pub and stuff, but there's old heads that just didn't get the shine that are playing still, that are around in the league, like Diana Taurasi. Jewel Lloyd may have something to say about this. There's good players in this league that aren't going to be ready to just hand it over to this young crop that's coming in. They're going to have to earn it, just like any rookies coming into the NBA. It's going to be the same way in the WNBA. There is a hierarchy there. And there are very powerful top players in that league, Aja Wilson, that may not be ready to just supersede to the new generation immediately. So yeah, be careful with that. There's people that are established. There are WNBA players that played for 10 years that are playing in that league right now. So yeah, I think we're gonna get it sooner. And I think that a lot's gonna happen this summer, Chris. I think that Teresa and Larry are gonna get the ball rolling, and the WNBA is gonna be more than happy to oblige second expansion franchise to our area. This is what they're waiting for already anyway. If you notice, they announced the WNBA team for the Golden State Warriors market already, but they wanted to do it for us too. But they're holding off on the second franchise that they're going to add next year because they're hoping we'll get our shit together and Toronto will be the added team with Golden State market next summer. Still, even though MLSE rejected the plan. So I think we're going to get it next year. And a lot of this stuff is going to get the ball rolling this summer with Teresa Resch. She's going to do it, man. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Evelyn's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to Granny Swag. We love Evelyn. In fact, I'm going to give Evelyn a dunk just for coming in and saying hi. Evelyn, you got a Jalen McDaniels too. 2 dunks for Evelyn so far this year. That doesn't seem right. We need to give her more. Smooth saying my score is based on Anthony Davis playing. Okay, all right. Well, you know what? That is not a bad score, 115 and 98. I'm sure either way, we'll see. We can't adjust this during the day. It was like when Maxey went out on Sunday, we found out he wasn't going to play for sure. Isaac Campbell was like, I want to change my score in the Raptor Freak Facebook chat. I'm like, how do I do this? I can't do this. Y'all just got to make your scores for what we think is going to happen. And well, changes in the lineup are going to happen during the day, and we can't like adjust for that. I can't have all y'all just changing your bets hour by hour by the latest news. I'm sorry, we can't do it that way. So either way, Smooth, your bet is your bet on what you think the score is going to be, regardless of who shows up. Fiercely saying LeBron wants to play with Bronny so that they can set the record for father and son from the same team hitting 1 bucket each in a game or some other ridiculous stat. Yeah, whatever easy little achievement thing he can get in the video game or whatever the NBA is to him, he'll do it. Yeah, I think it's just that he really honestly just wants to play with him, that he wants to have that dream, that, he can still play and he's getting old enough to play. It makes sense in some ways that he would like to try and do this. Whatever. I'm not a hater on this. In some ways, I can see the sentimentality of it. I just question whether Bronny James is good enough to play in the NBA. That's the one thing I will say. In some ways, he should be having to go the route of Kobe Simmons and JFL if he really wants to make the league. If he shouldn't just get a red carpet rolled out to him just because of who his daddy is, as far as getting in the league automatically, is what I'm saying. Some ways he has to prove that he belongs on that level. And if he's not a bona fide NBA player, he doesn't get drafted, well, he needs to do everything like everybody else, like Marquise Noel, like those guys who have to toil and come up through the other league to get to the main league. In some ways, I won't agree with him getting a fast track just to help with father time coming down on LeBron so that he can get out there, because he should be treated equally, just like everybody else. Ron Harper Jr., Bronny James, same kind of shit is what I'm saying right now. Yeah. Kareem Thomas is saying Reese and Clark will be like Bird and Magic. Yeah, I agree. I think this is true. They will help elevate the game to new heights and will be very competitive against one another. Only difference is they don't share that relationship. What do you mean? The relationship between Bird and Magic? No, I think they're very similar. I think that it's exactly kind of the same that it was between Bird and Magic. They hated each other. They did. They really didn't like each other. Larry did not like Magic, and Magic did not like Larry. It was later when they did more commercials together, they had more of a respect for each other and they developed a friendship. And it's a rivalry. In some ways, Larry and Magic to this day love each other so much, and they're part of history. And in some ways, that's why they love each other. But when they were competing and they were going against each other in the finals all the time, no, there was no love lost then. And that may be a very similar case with this. Those two names, they probably already love and respect each other a lot because they can understand the gravity and the bigness of Clark versus Reese. And I think that it'll be very similar to the Bird and Magic storyline, where they're competitors and hate each other on the court, but over time they'll very value the pairing that they were and their effect on basketball and the history of it. So I think that that's what's going to happen with them. I think it's going to be very, very similar. In fact, they may be carbon copies of what kind of went down with Larry Bird and Irvin Johnson. Seriously. Chris is saying Clark can't do the Ice Cube Big Three. It would kill the WNBA spirit. And also, as good as she is, she's 165 pounds, won't be able to guard men and might get hurt. Has to be the Clark versus Reese era. Well, I'll humbly disagree with this, partly because it's a big three. It's a 3-on-3, Chris. This is not a 5-on-5 full court sport. In fact, I don't even know if they play full court. I think that they do a half court set. So it's a lot different than you think. In some ways, yeah, there may be Charles Oakley out there at 50 years old trying to muscle you around. They have older players that are out there that'll be muscling. But if she's playing the guard and she's on the outside, she can be guarded from this. Once again, I'm not going to go there with this. I won't say this is a sexist take by you, but I think she can play in the big three and she'd be fine. This isn't like a five player system where there's running up and down a court and all the different things that go on with that. This is a 3-on-3 league that's in some ways an exhibition league, and in some ways you're missing the point of why she would go there and do it. Is that she's trying to prove the point that she can play with men. And that's a much safer environment and a way to do it that she won't look bad than the NBA. It's a baby step. In some ways, I wouldn't poo-poo it and say, don't do the big three. I say, take that money and prove something about women playing against men. And, so I'll disagree with you. I'll be exactly the opposite. It could very well be she just does 1 year with them, proves a point, and comes to the WNBA afterwards. And it won't hurt anything. They'll still get the other thing. Mischief's got his score prediction. Let's see what the base man's saying today. All right. He's saying 118 to 108 for the Lakers. Okay. That's not that far off from my score, Jay. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Kareem's got his score. Let's see what Kareem Thomas is saying. OKT, our dunk champion. Let's see what he's saying. Kareem thinks that we got Lakers 124 to 112. Okay. You guys are both right around near me. That's good. Free throws will be the difference in the game. I hope not, but that seems likely. Tom Dookie with his score prediction is quickly with the buzzer beater. The Raptors win 111 to 109. I like that. I like that a lot. That's a great prediction. Tommy, you're awesome. Let's see. Randolph Phillips here. Blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang on this game day. Our chances of keeping our top pick has increased. Play a solid game showing development, but increase the chances more. You're saying so lose. We actually have wiggle room to win now. We can win one game and we'll be fine, and it won't change any of the chances. So we have wiggle room because now the Grizzlies have 2 more wins than us. So we win one, we still stay below them. So we kind of have the green light to try and win a game right now. And we probably should try and win the game as best as we could. We've already been trying to win the games as best as we could. Well, I'd like to break through and get another W. We need to get one soon. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow. If not next week, for sure. Or Milwaukee on Saturday. Yeah, we need to get a win. We need to get a win. These next 3 games may be the tough ones, but Washington, we need to get a win on that one. If we have not won one of these 3 games in this next 3 games, we need to beat Washington Wizards in the last game against them next week. Yeah. Most asking me, did I watch the Ellen recent video, Lex? Yeah, I watched it like a week ago when it came out. It came out the day after the Brooklyn game. So I saw it I even talked about it like 2 weeks ago, like a week ago, Mo. That video is old. It came out like right after we played Brooklyn that time. And I remember watching it the very much the day after. I think I talked about it already, like around then. Basically, the whole thing about that video that's awesome is that the Raptors organization showed the same kind of treatment and rolling the red carpet out for the Schroeder family as whether he played for the Raptors or the Nets. That they got to park in their same spot, they got to go and use the playroom with the kids, they got to go get the food, they got to do all the regular things that Ellen would do. Now, Ellen said that they were going to sit in their regular seats, but they did not get their regular seats. But it is what it is. They still got to come to the game. And Ellen was very glowing and effusive about the Raptors' treatment, the organization towards her family, and how awesome they've been. So there's no hard feelings between the Shooters and the Raptors. In some ways, I wrote on that video that I hope you guys do come back every time and you come to the games as a family. And also, if Dennis ends up on the Raptors again at some point, I'd be very happy about that. And I wrote Ellen that, and I think she saw it. She saw my comment. But yeah, that's a great video. It's been out for about a week, and you got to watch it with subtitles once again because it's in German. It's in German, and it's good to see everybody there. It's good to see the whole family of the Shooters there at the game when we played Brooklyn recently. Seymour saying, "Pass the ball, John," was my favorite basketball commercial, the John Starks one. I don't even remember that one. That may have been a market one up here because we didn't have it in the South. I don't think John Starks was in any commercials in Florida. So I wouldn't remember this John Starks commercial. Let's see. He hates the Knicks, but Starks was cool. Yeah, John Starks was an interesting player for sure. Yeah, I don't remember that particular commercial. It may be a regional commercial, and that's why I didn't see it. Chris is saying Raptors better draft the center. If they don't, I will not be happy. Bazelis is good, but I don't know. We can't go into next year with only Kelly and Yak. Maybe Edie can be had with a later pick. I agree with this. I just want size. I think Buzelis is fine, but partly because he has a really good wingspan and he's a good shooter. So he kind of checks a couple things off. He's a super skilled player, and honestly, he's a badass. He's got game changer kind of attitude too. Like he's Eye of the Tiger. He's the kind of guy that will make game winners. He's the kind of guy that will take over games and like really with like trying very hard and being like, yeah, I'm gonna take over all of a sudden and do this. That's kind of why I like Buzelis. I'm not against us drafting him. And in some ways, even if he's not a full center, he's a very tall forward that has a really good wingspan. And he may not be a good physical presence in the lane like Jakob, but he will add to the rebounding and the shot blocking on the team. So, plus adding a very, very good shooter. He may be one of the better shooters in the league coming in this draft. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm with you on this. I'd like to get a center somehow, some way, since it seems like we've been losing centers. Kareem saying at Seymour, my favorite basketball commercial also has John Starks. Not sure if it's the same one, but it had Basketball Jones song playing in the background. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. Mo saying, I'm in Kitchener at my dad's. Oh, okay, Mo. We'll say hi to your dad, and I hope you're doing really, really good, Mo. So you're not going to the game today, but you're getting your ride ready for the next one, the last one in the season you're going to. Yeah, the season's gonna be over before we know it. It'll be over a week from this Sunday coming up. Yeah, we still got 8 games to do. Four games this week, 4 games next week, and then boom, we're done. We're done by the 14th of April. And yeah, we'll be in off-season mode. I'll be doing things a little bit differently on this channel. I may not be doing very long streams because I'm going to be super busy and I'm going to need my time to myself. So I may ask for very strict cutoffs, and we may try and do only hour streams or half-hour streams even, guys. Because in some ways, if there's not a lot for us to talk about because the Raptors aren't playing anymore, it's the postseason, I'm not going to be doing NBA wrap-ups and going over all the scores from the games in the playoffs. No, in some ways, we'll talk about it and we'll kind of touch on things. But in some ways, I'm not going to be in depth or anything like that. I won't be, no. Let's see. Seymour saying Cream. Yeah, that's the one. So you guys like the same John Starks commercial. All right. I might have to find this. You know what? Let me see if I can find this, guys. Let me see if I can find this on YouTube real quick, and I'll do a reaction to it. Why not? Let's see this. All right. What is this? This is John Starks Basketball Jones commercial. Let's see if I can get it that way. No. YouTube has everything, right? Okay. It's an Adidas commercial. Okay. I think this is the one. Let me see. All right. Basketball Jones! And the ball goes through the hoop. They're on a street street hoop. There's John Starks. He's wearing Adidas. The song's awesome. Basketball Jones. He dunks it. He's like, yeah. He's wearing an Adidas shirt. I can dribble with my tongue. Okay, the song is hot. I mean, the commercial is just okay. I mean, he's like all showing dog and stuff. Okay, that's the Basketball Jones commercial. Is that the right one? He's on a street court and he's got an Adidas white shirt on and he's throwing it down. Tell me if that's the right one. I like the singing in the song. Basketball Jones, I can dribble with my tongue. Ridiculous. Let's see. Chris is saying you can't say women aren't athletic, as some say. Look at gymnastics, but now leagues for little girls are around. It used to be just high school training, which is not enough. Now it starts at age 8. All right. I should watch out. Obviously, I'm not saying that. It's an interesting thing. All right, we can see a man dunk a ball. It's different than when Lisa Leslie dunks a ball. Like what I'm saying is, it's not. This is a minefield of folly. And Chris, you're always contentious with me. In some ways, it's annoying, but it's a good balance in some ways. What I was trying to say is the athleticism to get above the rim is what I meant to say. That the athleticism to get above the rim, obviously in the men's sport, is better. And in some ways, that's the turnoff for some people why they don't want to watch the women's basketball is because the women just athletically don't get above the rim like the men. And that may be more what I should have said. It's not necessarily about athleticism or them not being good athletes. Obviously in very good shape. And sure, I don't know why you're bringing up gymnastics because it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But yeah. And they just have to learn fundamentals better to be better. I mean, that's a smart way to do it. If you have a lot of athletic talent and you are above the rim, you can be like a Miles Burns and just not have very good fundamentals otherwise because you're coasting on your athletic talent. Well, a lot of the young women that want to play basketball, they're usually shorter and they really need to be good dribblers, good passers, and good shooters. And those are fundamentals. So that was the point I was trying to make. If I made it clunky or not totally clear, that's what I meant. The men's game is above the rim to an extent that the women's is not, and that's the difference right there. I mean, I that's what I meant. Let's see. G saying 125 to G score is in 125 to 111. Lakers. All right. Let's see. 125 to 111. All right. For the Lakers. Seymour saying 112 to 89 Lakers, and refs will take this one. Seymour Pape. 112 to 180 to 112 to 89. Okay. Fiercely saying I'm seriously rooting for Teresa Resch and Larry Tannenbaum. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. These people are capable people. Larry Tannenbaum has all the money in the world. Why wouldn't they get it? Seriously. WNBA loves the market. It may not be in the Scotiabank Arena, but they can get it set up in the right way. It'll get marketed and it'll do fantastic. Trust me. If they're at Mattamy Center, that's actually a really good venue for them to have WNBA games at. Global Jam has been fantastic there. And because it's so centrally located in Toronto off of the subway at College Station, that is a great location for them to be at. And people will go to it. Trust me. They will go to it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Chris is saying, okay, well, if MLSC is out of the mix, could we get a team earlier? Yeah, I think we'll get one for next year. We'll have it on the same schedule that we would have had if MLSC had taken it. That's why the WNBA has been putting off announcing the second expansion team to go with the Golden State Warriors expansion team. And it's really because they're kind of waiting for us to get our shit together with them, I think. I think that they really do want the team to be in Toronto, in Canada, because they want the WNBA to go international. It's very prestigious. So I could see that it's super attractive. They want this to happen. They want this to line it up. If Ed Rogers was the only person getting the way in the other way, well, we found another way. And we're going around him. Yeah. Rico Center would be a great location. Yeah, it's not a bad one either. I don't know. I've never heard of basketball games being played there. I know there's a lot of hockey there because they have the St. Mike's and stuff like that. But I don't know if they've had basketball games at Rico before. So I don't know if it's actually a basketball facility. Mattamy is a proven one. So it probably is the old Maple Leaf Gardens where the WNBA team may play, is what I'm saying. So that's what I think is more likely. And plus, Rico is MLSE owned. That's the other thing about it. MLSE owns Rico. They own obviously where the TFC play and Scotiabank Arena. And if they may not want the WNBA team in MLSE Arena because MLSE is not involved in this team at this point. So that's what I would say. That's what I would say about that. I'm trying to think of when I've heard of a basketball game happening at Rico. I don't think there has been. I don't think there has been. Let's see. My take is that the women's game is improving and we'll have people watch. Simple stuff. Yeah, I'm excited about that, and it's already happening, as evidenced by last night. Definitely, definitely. Seymour saying $1,172 on groceries just because of this damn April 8th stuff. Be prepared. Watch. It'll just be another average day. What? You spend that much on groceries? Holy crap. That's why I'm going out to the woods to grow my own food, because the prices are just. I don't want to rely on totally them. Give me my food. I'm gonna make my own food. Chris is saying, I've never been a sexist, and it's important to realize the media was running it on you. It is running it on you, and you will run it on. Same shit, different pile. Laugh out loud. Think for yourself at all times. Okay, Chris. All right. Anyway, my point with Smooth earlier was that we were conditioned as kids. In some ways, if you're a 70s baby and an 80s child, yeah, there was a lot of conditioning going on there. And there's conditioning going on right now, too, and stuff like that, for sure. Seymour saying water bullets, food battery pack, emergency candles. Okay, so you bought a whole bunch of different stuff, and that's part of the reason why your grocery bill was so high, because you're getting water and bullets. Oh, not water bullets. Like you have a gun that shoots water. Is this a squirt gun? That's awesome. Infamous is saying, salute freaks. In my opinion, Juju Watson will be the real star. In my opinion, she's way better than Clark and Reese. Yeah, that was a name that people were talking about last night. Marquise Noel propping her up on his Instagram stories, talking about Juju. And Damian Lillard also propping Juju on his social media last night. Yeah, yeah. I heard about that name last night. Hey, all more stars, more stars. In some ways, Clark and Reese will have their own little thing, and I'm sure there'll be enough spotlight for other young women to step in and get more shine too. Yeah, yeah. Infamous saying UConn won; they were the better team. Damn, damn. Yeah, UConn with Edwards. Yeah, you're not talking about the men's, because the UConn's on both tournaments, and the men's and the women's getting to very late stages in their tournaments. So UConn is basketball right now. Apparently, it seems like. Yeah, damn. Hola todos. Hola a todos. Hola a todos. Okay. All right. Good to see you. Nameless JDR, Jordan Dick Rider. JDR. That's what that means. Listen. I think this Dick Rider thing is so silly. This came about with Scotty's Twitch when I was first exposed to it. People saying people are dick riding or glazing and all this kind of stuff. Whatever. It used to be we called it brown nosers or ass kissers. But we've gotten more like, I don't know, more gross or just more graphic or more mature in life, that we're now saying dick riders or glazers or shit like this. It used to be brown nosers or ass kissers or just fans. I mean, in some ways, whatever. You know, Jordan has a lot of dick riders, as you put it, and rightfully so. He's the greatest of all time. He really is. He's the greatest of his era, and I would say he's the greatest of all time. LeBron's the greatest of his era. And we'll just say that. That's where I stand with that. Call me a dick rider. It's silly. But they used to call me a brown noser. That's a little bit better, I would say, even though your nose is up their butt. All right, Randolph has got his pick for the score. He is saying 138 to 125 for the Lakers. Okay. All right. You are written down, Randolph. Thank you for your contribution. Nameless is saying Toronto will keep rotating these injuries until they flunk out entirely. What do you mean? We already flunked out. We're eliminated from playoff contention. We're not going to the playoffs in any kind of way. We are solely playing for the protected pick right now, and that's it. Maybe stop the losing streak. That's it. And Nameless saying, okay, if IQ is going to play, then so and so must not. Well, Gary's not playing, and we saw how Gary got hurt in the last game. He was hobbling. It looked like he may have needed to come out of the game in the last game. So it makes sense that Gary Trent Jr. is not going to play today from his injury against the team we just played last, Philadelphia. Because Gary hit the floor hard, and he looked like he couldn't walk for a second there. It was his knee. That's right. He ran his knee into Tobias Harris. Remember on that screenplay? And he held it for a while, and he was like massaging it himself on the court. Well, that is the reason why Trent is out today, is because he ran his knee into Tobias Harris on Sunday. And that's why he's out. That's right. That is right. Okay, Fiercey knows who the birthday is today. She went and looked it up. I love it. I love it. Yes, it is Pascal's birthday, guys, today. Today is Pascal Siakam's birthday. He is the number one guy on the list. Pascal has turned 30 today, guys. Happy 30th birthday to Siakam, one of the GOATs. We love you, Siakam. And I want you to go really far in the playoffs with the Indiana Pacers. So happy 30th birthday, Siakam. This is a big birthday for him in some ways. Think about that. Siakam is 30, y'all, as of today. That's fantastic. I love that in some ways so much. Siakam, Pascal, 30 years old and playing for the Indiana Pacers now at this point. But we still love Siakam. He's one of our birthdays. We have two other ones too, guys, just so you know. It's also Nate Huffman's birthday today. Nate Huffman is turning 49 today. Nate Huffman is a very brief Raptor. He was a backup center, a goofy blonde guy who just kind of came in the early expansion Raptors and played backup center for us. But it is his birthday too. And also 49th birthday of Eric Smith of the Fan 590. We were talking about Eric Smith recently about his career in media. Some people don't like listening to him on the radio. But yeah, Eric Smith's birthday today, also 49 years old, for our play-by-play on the radio with Paul Jones, Fan 590 broadcast for Raptors games. So happy birthday, Eric Smith. Happy birthday, Nate Huffman. And happy birthday to our guy, Siakam. Yeah, happy birthday, Pascal Siakam. Happy birthday to you. You're that dirty 30, dude. That's right. It is Siakam's birthday. It's awesome. All right, let's see. Kareem saying, I went to Tankathon and did the draft simulator. We got number one on my first attempt. So, yeah, I'm just going to say that we will have the first pick in the draft. There you go, Kareem. I love that. You know, you're getting a dunk for that. Perfect. You did the draft lottery for us already, and you got us the first pick. You are MVP for us. 94 dunks, guy. 94. 94 dunks. James is saying, Lex, other than the 2019 championship roster, which other roster did you have fun watching? You know, honestly, I really enjoyed watching this year. Even though we lost a lot, I really love the new system of Darko and the passing. I really love the cutting, the stuff with Kelly and Grady. I really love the flow of our offense. In fact, it's a beautiful game. Bellissimo. It's what they talk about in Europe, the beautiful Serbian passing system. And Darko has brought that to us, our team. After the terrorism of Nick and his ISO systems, it's been such a breath of fresh air. But if you want me to look at other places where I've really enjoyed the Raptors, other than just the championship year and this year, I mean, I really did enjoy the early Vince years. The first 2 years of Vince were absolutely fantastic. Being around the building at the Air Canada Center, working in the building at that time, and being at all the games and feeling the Vince sanity up close in the building at all those games, seeing Vince's dunks, that was an electric time for sure. For sure. And that is probably the other era that I'm really into, other than the build up to the championship with Kyle and DeMar and Dwayne Casey and Jonas Valanciunas to Nick Nurse to Kawhi. All that was awesome too. I really enjoyed those years also when we won a lot of games in the regular season, even if we went out to LeBron. So there's been a lot of enjoyable seasons, and even recent seasons I've had fun. And since Scotty showed up, I've had fun doing this channel the last 3 years. And last year wasn't as fun when Nick was being an asshole, but Scotty's rookie year and this year have been two of the funnest seasons for me to watch the Raptors. And a lot of it does have to do with Scotty, and this year it has to do with Darko. So I would say that. I would say that, like, in the initial Raptors in the very beginning, the expansion Raptors were fun because they were fresh and they were such a new, awesome kind of thing, Damon Stoudemire era. So those are kind of the eras that I would say. The Vinsanity years, early, the build to the championship with DeMar and Kyle. Recent years, the Scotty's rookie year, and then this year, not the last year, and then and not Tampa. No. And even the year after we won the championship, before the pandemic went out, that was a very fun year too, when we were winning without Kawhi, after Kawhi. So great question. Once again, James is undefeated on questions, y'all. In some ways, James is winning. Like, he's in a Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year contest right now, and he's honestly winning because he's asking such awesome questions, just like Shere Khan did last year on Raptors Tonight. So I'm going to give you a 3-pointer. You got a Kyle Lowry 7 now, guy. You went from the Scotty Barnes 4 to the Kyle Lowry 7. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Chris is saying, I think of it as female and male tennis. NBA and WNBA are different games. I like women's tennis more as they rally longer, better chances at the serve and volley. Now, don't they play mixed couples sometimes? Like a man will be paired with a woman, they'll play doubles. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why we can't integrate, men playing against women. We did this shootout recently with Steph and Caitlin, and that was absolutely cool and fantastic. I think that that's just the beginning. In some ways, look, it may not be exactly 5-on-5 kind of integration or like integration of a female into like a football team as a kicker or certain things like that. It may be something very different. But honestly, the first step would be Clark going to the big three and just kind of competing in that smaller level and maybe not as much pressure. She could probably show some things, seriously, in that league. She may be able to run circles around some of those older ex pros that play in the big three, seriously. And because it's only 3-on-3, in some ways you can hide things different. 3-on-3 is a lot different than playing 5-on-5 full court. And that's what I'm saying. You could play 3-on-3 in your neighborhood with girls. Oh my God. I played 3-on-3 with girls all the time when I was a kid. So why would it be any different if Ice Cube's league isn't too serious? Why couldn't she play in that league? And it would be fine. It'd be fine. Chris is saying with JFL, he is being held in check. As you will notice, his role is to bring the ball up and let Kelly run it. Allowed to break to the hoop is D if the D is not set, but limited. Kelly is the offensive hub. Yeah, there's always going to be a pecking order and a hierarchy to things. And that's why whatever your role is and whatever you're supposed to do, you better do it really well. In some ways, you can expand it and get outside the box, but you better damn for sure be successful. Because if you do something you're not supposed to do and you don't make it, yeah, you're probably going to get benched. Yeah, this is true. I mean, Kelly is the hub. JFL is the point guard. But in some ways, like Kelly said, if Emmanuel and RJ aren't playing, this is what he said yesterday in his interview, that I have to be the point guard. And that really is, in some ways, a diss to JFL, that he's not a true point guard. And that's the problem here. If Marquise Noel was in his place right now, he would be running point guard straight up. And Kelly would still be the hub, but Marquise would get his chance to do his vision. The problem is JFL doesn't have point guard vision. That's the problem right here, Chris, is that he's a scoring guard in a point guard's body. And that's part of the reason why I'm not very keen on him is if he was a more standard point guard and he did do a lot more like kind of he never did this in the G League. So it's not that they're holding him from it in the NBA. When he played all these G League games this year, he never did this kind of point guard stuff. So it's just a deficiency in his game. And it's a very big flaw considering his size. And that's my biggest problem with him right there. I did a whole review of the G League star system that I did this year, and I have a spreadsheet that has the rankings of the best Raptors 905 players for us for winning this year. And there's some interesting things I've been discovering from doing the project. I'm not ready to reveal it to most of y'all yet. I've shown it to some people in our Facebook chat. That's just a perk of joining the channel. You can see stuff early. But I will be bringing that report out and doing a G League report on the Raptors 905 sometime in the next week or so and talking about what I found from breaking down some of the numbers and the stats from the G League season about who adds up to winning and who doesn't, and who's kind of like, yeah, this is a waste of our time, and who really had promise and somebody that we need to have around maybe possibly in the future. So, yeah. James is saying, I think we should throw an offer at DeAnthony Melton, Sixers guard. He's unrestricted free agent, good defender, can shoot the threes as well. Yeah, we saw Melton a lot last season in the Rico Hines runs, running with Sixers against us. He was one of the better people at Rico's last summers. Now he's on the Sixers, and he is valued by Nick Nurse. He's been hurt recently. That's why we didn't see him on Sunday against us. I don't know. I think the Sixers value him. They may re-up him, and he may just stay in Philly. I don't know if I necessarily want him. In some ways, he's not that much different to me than maybe Abaji or Bruce Brown. And I want something a little bit more flashy in some ways. I want something a little more flashy. I know Melton's a good scorer, and he may be a better scorer than Abaji and Bruce Brown, but there's a balance to things. There's other things that Melton, I don't know. I'm not too keen on him. I wouldn't say outright no if Melton was a Raptor in the future, but he's not somebody who's super attractive to me. I'll just put it that way. Dana's got her score. Let's see. Dana's saying 126 to 110 for the Lakers. And she's also probably got an extra 2 points with her fingers going at LeBron also. That's right. Cool Cat saying happy 30th birthday to the beloved GOAT, Pascal Siakam. Forever, 43. Yeah. Siakam will always have a home in Toronto. That's for sure. We love you, Siakam. Happy birthday. I hope your day is just perfect, my guy. Are y'all playing tonight? I want to see you get a win tonight, my guy. I want to see you win a game tonight. Siakam, if you are playing tonight, I want to see you win. Let's see. Is he getting to play a game on his birthday today? Let me see. Are the Pacers? Where are the Pacers? Or is he off today? Looks like he's off today. So Siakam gets to have the day off for his birthday. That's awesome. JP's here. Good to see Country Kong. Lex, we might mess around and get the first overall pick. If we won the lottery, Pistons fans would riot, but we deserve our pick this year at least. A top 6 pick with the barbecue decor would be amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I want talent. I want to add another supremely talented top level player. If we are in the top 6 picks in the draft, we can possibly do this. Buzelis is that kind of guy. I'm serious. The G League Ignite guy is that kind of guy. He could really help. Yeah. Well, hey, Pistons fans are going to get upset no matter what. Watch. They're going to get upset. They're just upset because the Pistons are Pistons right now, the way they are. Country Kong saying, just wanted to reiterate my draft preferences. Top 6, I'd like Cody Williams, Buzelis, or Ron Holland. They'd be game changers for us. Then Ryan Dunn and Kella Ware. We have offense. Let's add some defense. It's interesting, JP. They're saying Ryan Dunn, first pick in the second round when the Raptors pick from New York. So this is interesting. They're projecting Ryan Dunn onto our team, but in that last pick that we get at the beginning of the second round. So yeah, you know what? I haven't done a scout today. I will do a scout. If anybody says do a scout on something, I'll do one scout still. If you guys want that today, I have not watched Cody or Ron Holland, but I know Buzelis. I don't think I've watched Ryan Dunn yet either. Just so y'all know. Monique is saying, "Happy 30th birthday to Siakam." Yeah, this is awesome. All-Star, G League Finals, MVP, Forever Toronto. Yeah. Yeah, all the accolades with Siakam. He's a winner. He's won a lot. And he's got all kinds of stuff. Name was saying, "Don't worry, Lex, you live in the deep end." I live in the deep end. Yeah, I don't even know what that means at this point. Chris is saying, "Nah, I've watched the WNBA. The shooting is better. The new gen is just better. Like the transition from 80s to 90s in the NBA." I don't know. I still say, look, it's like anything. It's like with the youngsters coming in the NBA right now, they want to upset things and kind of make things happen. Well, some people are not ready to just relinquish that yet. In some ways, there's an order to things. Some ways, the young people are too rushing things, is what I'm going to say. And that you want to come in and turn everything upside down. Well, good luck with that. In some ways, you still got to deal with Aja Wilson, as I said, and all the established stars in their league already. If Caitlin Clark comes in and she's absolutely the most dominant player in the league, so be it. But in some ways, there's still a hierarchy to things, and there's still like old school vets and people like, there's people like Deanna Bonner. These are people that have been playing in the league for like 15 years, and they are scoring machines. So I don't totally understand your point. Once again, sometimes you're just playing devil's advocate. I get it, Chris. Whatever. It's fine. It's annoying, but it is what it is. All right, let's see. He's also saying 3-on-3 is more physical game, Lex. As a 2-time NBA Hoop It Up Toronto champion here, it's always in the half court, more a grind. Yeah, but if she's not playing down low, what does it matter? If she's just playing on the outside and kind of running around on the outside, she's not trying to post anybody up, and she's not trying to guard anybody to post. There's going to be a guard on the other side she can guard. So, I get it, and that's a great accolade. I didn't know that you've done 3-on-3 tournaments. But to say that in some ways, it's bullshit. Come on. She can play guard against other guards. If she gets mismatched, well, they better switch. But they don't do that as much in the 3-on-3 as far as switching around. There's just 3 players on a team. How the fuck are you going to get screens and get all around on mismatches too easily? People can switch back and stuff like that. Most saying, keep up the great streams, Lex. Go Raptors for life. Good times. Approaching 1.1 videos is insane. Yeah, I should go check where I'm at exactly because honestly, it's getting close to 1,000. I will be getting to 1,000 videos in a row on this channel. Let's see. Let me see. Where is my number at? I should actually just check it. I'm at 933. So we've got about 67 more live streams, and then we'll be there. So I'm guessing that'll be sometime this summer. It'll probably be like around July. Or no, even sooner. It may be May or June that I get to 1,000 days in a row of live streaming every single day. Yeah, thank you, Monique. Wonderful videos, no cutouts, best part. Yeah, awesome. I appreciate that. And Chris is saying, I wasn't saying you said women aren't athletic. I said some people say, If I wanted to say it, I would have said, Lex, you can't say women aren't athletes. I never thought you said it. Either way, I don't know. Once again, Chris, in the comments, just baby me. In some ways, I get it. In some ways, you want to be contentious with me. It's fine. If that's your stick, that's fine. As long as you want to do it, in some ways, it is what it is. I'm just reading the comments and going by what people are saying. That's all. Cool Cat saying Paige Buckers was the phenom in women's college basketball. She got injured and was out for a year. That allowed Caitlin to get the spotlight. Paige Buckers is a complete player. Juju Watkins, the freshman, is next. All right. Cool Cat's doing the scouting. She knows the names that are coming up. So we'll have to see Paige get to the league and Juju also. Yeah, I'm excited. Seymour saying Van Lyth is the Kevin Durant of college, but baseball transfers to the champs and loses. Okay. You mean he like leaves a team to try and chase championships, and he lost even though he did that? That's hilarious. Fiercely saying Juju crying yesterday after the elimination. She's very competitive. She has an ad out with Embiid. It's actually funny, and I'll give props to Embiid on his acting skills. All that flopping helped. It's like James taught him how to flop and how to act. Seymour saying Clark takes the $5 million in play. Big three WNBA highest paid player is $250K a year. Ice Cube will pay you $5 million a season. And it's probably less games too. It's probably less games and less pressure. In some ways, he's paying for the name and to get more notoriety for his league. And it's smart business, honestly. In some ways, it's a benefit for her and him. I think she should do it. Seriously, I think she should get that bag. That's what Seymour's saying. Any word from pickleball champ Jill? I saw her in the Raptors Tonight chat the other night. Like I said, some people are just oil and water with me. I don't get along with everyone, and in some ways, there's friction and stuff like that. There just is. In some ways, she was distracting from my streams in ways that I didn't like, and she wasn't able to control herself to try not to. So, in some ways, if she's not here, she's not here. No ill feelings, and in fact, we saw each other in the chat, and we were fine. So it's not animosity or anything. I love Jill. I think she's an awesome person. She's welcome here. If she came back in here, she could talk. But I said the other day, I was like, her and I's personalities don't get along. And I'm sure if I was around her in person, I'd probably like go crazy because she annoyed me. So she probably took that as something, and she hasn't come back since. It is what it is. I love Jillian Moody, and she's a great Raptor freak and a great Raptor fan. And I wish her all the best and all avenues and everything in her life. But in some ways, her not being in the chat right now, it clears it up and makes it easier for me to do it. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Let's see. James is getting dap from Fiercey. Seymour saying Grady reminds me of a Craig Elo mixed with Dan Marley. That's interesting. I get what you're saying here. Craig Elo, although I would say Mark Price instead. And it's not the point guard stuff. It's the shooting of Mark Price with the slasher of Dan Marley. Yeah, forget about Elo. Elo's not as good as Mark Price. Mark Price was the better shooter on the Cavs. Now, Elo was an okay shooter, but even Steve Kerr was better than him on the Cavs back then. So I'd say Mark Price type shooting with the slashing scorer sense of Dan Thunder Marley of the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah. So Mark Price, Dan Marley is what I will say. Cowboy saying, I like that draft, Country Kong. Dap. Wayne saying, a very great time was just before the pandemic. Hollis, Jefferson, and Davis, when Kyle was out, it was great basketball. We went west and was slaughtering every team. Yeah, we went and right before the pandemic, we swept the whole Western Conference road trip. It was beautiful. Oh my gosh. I was so happy. It was amazing. We were on top of the world. That's why I thought the pandemic was fishy. I mean, this is how conspiracy theory I can be. They started a pandemic to stop the Raptors from repeating a championship. I mean, seriously, I don't know. The NBA started the pandemic in some ways because of Rudy Gobert and them shutting down, and everybody took notice and they're like, whoa, the NBA is shutting down because of the pandemic. Maybe we all should be shutting down. It's kind of like they led the pandemic shutdown, the NBA. And it's kind of fishy to me in some ways. In some ways, I don't totally trust the NBA, obviously, and some of the things I've said on this channel, that maybe there was some sort of weird shit about the pandemic. I don't want to get all conspiracy theory because I know people died and got COVID and it was a real thing, but it was just weird, the timing with Rudy Gobert and everything and how it went down. That season was fun. It was fun, Wayne, before the pandemic. That season was fun. All right, Trevor's got his score prediction for tonight. He is saying 130 to 125, and he put them in order. He didn't tell me who. So it's going to be the Lakers 130, the Raptors 125. Nameless is in too. Yeah, this game's just dumb for the rest of this season. While these games don't matter anything to us, 135 to 101, the Lakers. Davis will find a way to play. All right, we'll see. We'll see that his eyes will open like dinner plates looking at the Raptors roster. Maybe. I mean, people got to understand where we're at with this at this point. 933. Yeah, all right. Country Kong saying thanks, Cowboy. A lot of people worry about Ryan Dunn's offense, but I trust Darko to fix his shot, and his defense is overpowering. Kel is agile and can block shots and shoot like AD. Can we scout Dunn? All right, I'll do this for you, Country Kong. We are going to scout Ryan Dunn. Let me do the Wikipedia page first, just so I can see what he looks like as far as his okay, not American TV personality Ryan Dunn from Bam Margera's show. No, not him. Virginia Cavaliers small forward, power forward Ryan Dunn, who is 21 years old, from Brookville, New York, 6'8", 288 pounds. He went to Oak Hill Academy. Let's see. It doesn't have his stars for the blue chipper. He is the younger brother of Major League Baseball pitcher Justin Dunn. So his brother actually plays in the MLB. All right, let me see a Ryan Dunn highlight. I am doing this blind. I'm not watching the March Madness, guys. So I have not ever seen Ryan Dunn play basketball ever until today. Okay, which one is a shorter highlight? I don't want a really super long highlight. This one's just 2 minutes. Okay, this is Ryan Dunn's defense versus Florida is the clip. Okay, this is defensive stuff he's doing. Okay, which one is he? He's 6'8", so I really can't tell who he is on the defense. I don't know. That's stupid. What number is he? Number 13? Okay. All right. Let me watch this again from the start since I just realized who he is. All right. He's the big man. He's shadowing the big man. Okay. He came over for help. He helped bother the shot, and they missed. He got the rebound. Here he is. He's coming over to the big man. He puts his hand up. These are all defensive highlights. That's no good. Okay. So he boxes out the big man on Florida. Make sure he doesn't get the rebound. Yeah, why am I watching just all defensive highlights? I want to see his offensive bag. This is silly. Ooh, look at that steal. He jumped in the passing lane, and then he gets a transition dunk, a big one-handed slam the other end. That's pretty good. I like his legs. His legs are very long, and he does look like he has a good wingspan. He does have very quick foot speed laterally and getting to spots. It seems like he's anticipating. He works hard. I can see him like being all over the place and just being very active all the time. Like he's always moving. He doesn't seem like he plays lazy at all. And he's a shot blocking threat. He's also got steal threat. Is he more known for his defense? And that's what you're saying, that he needs to work on his shot, and that's the knock on him? Well, I like his height and I like his wingspan. If we're going to get him in the first pick of the second round, I'm okay with it because he will add to some of the things that I feel like we lack on our current roster build right now. We need more size. We need more long arms. In some ways, he reminds me of Brandon Miller, the rookie for the Hornets right now. He's got a similar type body, and it seems like he's about the same size as him. So I can't hate on this guy. I wish I'd seen some offensive stuff from him as far as shots and what his shots look like. But from what I can see defensively, he's awesome. He's awesome. All right, Ryan Dunn. There's a little quick scout by Lex. Never seen him before until just now. So, yeah. Fiercey saying, hi, Lex. Paige is actually back and plays with UConn. She was very impressive yesterday and had an inspiring post-game interview. Also, she's like IQ, very religious. That's good. That's a good foundation for a player. If it's a serious, real thing and they really are religious and they're not just using it to toot their own horn. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, Trevor J. Holy crap. Look at what he just did. Holy crap. Look at Trevor. Commissioner of Fun. Yeah. Cowboys saying, knowing who you know, Lex, who would you draft if we're picking at 6, 17, and our second? At 6? Well, I don't mind the ESPN draft. This is just how I would like to do it. If we could get Buzelis at the 6th pick, like they're saying, and then we get Zach at 17, and then we get Ryan Dunn, the one we just watched. Yeah, I'm okay with those 3 picks. Those are all size guys with nice wingspans, and they all have different kind of looks and things to them. In some ways, that Ryan Dunn guy you guys just made me look at is very Herb Jones like. I can see Herb Jones kind of stuff in him. So let's see. Fiercely saying exactly nameless. AD's questionable will probably change as he wants to keep up his rebounding stats. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I'm just reporting to y'all what it says on the ESPN injury list. It's not that I'm trying to tell y'all what it is. They're just saying that he is questionable for today's game due to his knee. That's all. I'm just telling you. Don't shoot me. All right, let's see this line. A whole team of Freak memberships just given out. It looks like Carla got one on the East Coast. The Maritimes, our friend Firebolt holding it down in the Maritimes, getting a gifted membership. We see Mike's here, and he got one from Trevor. Infamous got one. That's nice. That's facts. Good to see you. That's facts. Man in New York's watching me, and you got a membership gifted. Joel Lester, welcome. And Lucky Shit. I remember Lucky Shit. RAB 6969. You got one. PBA Slob. I remember you too. Yeah, there you go. 10 gifted subscriptions from Trevor J. Thank you, Trevor J. You're awesome. Let's see. Fiercely saying, how can we gift our fellow Raptor Freaks, fam? Awesome, Trevor J. I'm not totally sure how you guys do that. I don't know. I'm not on that side of things. I don't know how that happens. But Trevor, you're so generous. Very, very kind. All right, let's wrap things up. We're getting close to the noon hour. So I want to go ahead and finish things up real quick. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything today. We did the birthdays. Yeah, we did that. I don't need to do that. Okay. Yeah, let's wrap things up. All right, our injuries for today. Raptors injuries first. Jonte Porter is out in exile because of shame. Scotty Barnes, Jakob Pertl, their left hands. You know, Scotty's getting better, and he honestly could return very, very soon. Seriously, Scotty Barnes could be playing for the Raptors next week, y'all. He could end up coming back for the last 5 games. I could see him doing this, guys, just because he's a competitor and he wants to do it. But who knows? It may be too little too late, and we'll still be behind Memphis. It doesn't matter. We'll have to see. And sometimes maybe we don't want Scotty getting near this stench of losing that's going on right now. In some ways, I don't know how they handle Barnes for the rest of the season. Will be very curious. Let's just say he's not been ruled out for the end of the year. He could still come back. I'm telling you. RJ and Emmanuel are probable today. Their conditioning may be good finally, and they may be returning to the Raptors lineup tonight against the Lakers. Abaji and Trent are both out for their recent injuries in games recently. They will be out today for sure. DJ Carton, Chris Boucher are also still out. So there's the Raptors injuries. I could speculate that the Raptors will start today. Javon Freeman Liberty, Grady Dick, Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, and Jordan Wara. I'll bet you they will start Jordan Wara today with Kelly Olynyk and those other guys I just named. I like that. That's a bit more size in the group with a real two forwards and a center and 2 guards instead of 4-guard lineup. That really bugged me when they did that. The Lakers are saying that Anthony Davis is questionable, along with LeBron. They're both questionable as of right now. We'll see how that changes through the day. Christian Wood is out. Jalen Hood-Schifino is not out. He should be playing. Jackson Hayes is probable for today. Jarrett Vanderbilt is out. Gabe Vincent is out. And Cam Reddish is out. So who's going to be playing for the Lakers if these guys are out? Well, let's just assume that James and Davis are out. It's D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Rui Hashimura, Spencer Dinwiddie, Taurean Prince, Max Christie, Colin Castleton, Skylar Mays, and Harry Giles III. Those are the listed guys on their depth chart after the guys that are missing. The referees for today are all favoring the Raptors. The crew chief is Curtis Blair, Justin Van Dyne, and Sayesh Mehta is the 3 refs for the Raptors versus the Lakers tonight. All right, y'all. That's pretty much it. The Raptors, thank you for coming here. Pascal Siakam, happy 30th birthday. And happy birthday to Nate Huffman and Eric Smith also. If you have a team in the championship for our Yahoo Fantasy League, get on it and make sure you do good. HC, good to see you today. And good job getting into the Final Four. David's going to be tough to beat. I'm just going to say that. David has got a good lead on you by almost 100 already. And Peter is leading Jason Duke also in the other side. Yeah, and I'm already doubled up by Meredith, it looks like, in the consolation bracket. Holy cow. Very competitive Yahoo League this year. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And join if you feel like it. Membership can have its privileges. You can join our Facebook group, and I live comment during the game when they're playing. So I live comment stuff about the game and stuff like that while the game's going on. So you can be involved in that if you want to. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos saying exile for shame. Ha ha ha. That's funny. Put some dunks on this. Put some dunks on this. Alley oop to Trevor from Cowboy. All right. Yeah, we're going to give Trevor another one. He's got the old Malachi 22. And you guys want to give me a dunk for saying that about Jonte? All right. I'll give myself a dunk in this situation. I'm at 39 dunks for the year. Let's see. Fiercely saying, Lex, send your question on your Raptors 905 spreadsheet in the chat. Oh, you sent me a question on that? All right, I'll answer your question when I get off the air, and I'll write in the message on the Facebook chat. See, that's the kind of stuff you get if you're a member and you join. You get to see what Fiercely's asking me and what we're talking about. All right, Cowboy. All right, guys, let's see it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Scotiabank Arena for tonight's main event marquee matchup. It's the Lakers versus the Raptors. In this corner for the Los Angeles Lakers, we have from, I believe he played for Kentucky. This is big 7-foot center, Anthony Davis. And in this corner for the Raptors, Captain Canada from Scarborough, Kelly Olynyk. And today's competition will be ice hockey. Yeah, we're going to play some hockey today. One-on-one hockey between Davis and Olynyk. Who's going to win that ice hockey game? The Leafs are letting us use Rico Arena to do this competition. So Kelly Olynyk versus Anthony Davis in a one-on-one hockey game. Why not? They're on our territory. They're going to play our game here in Canada against each other. That'd be funny. Yeah, let's get it on. Street busting. That's right. Tom Duke's all about Kelly Olynyk coming out there with the Hanson Brothers glasses and checking Anthony Davis into the boards. Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's go, Raptors. Let's beat the Lakers. Can you do that for me? Can you beat the Lakers tonight? I don't know. Maybe you can. I'd love to see it. Let's see it. Let's get some revenge for their bullshit that happened in La La Land earlier this year when we went to see their team. Darko said, hey, if you're going to just decide that they're going to win the game, why do we even come and show up? So is it going to be that like that tonight? Are we going to be like, why do we even show up? If the Lakers going to win because of the free throws. Okay, why would we show up? That's what Darko's going to say. We're going to find out if we should show up tonight if the league's going to be fair. I trust Curtis Blair. I don't trust the other two guys, but I trust the crew chief, Curtis Blair. That's right, LeBum. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Lakers. Let's beat LeBron. Let's go Raptors. Let's go.